Well, hello, everybody. This is Jacob here, the guy, the king,
Yeah.
Jacob's Film Perspectives. Uh, it's been a while, but I'm back. I said I would do these more frequently, and I lied to you all, and I'm sorry, as I feel like a father figure to you all, and I feel like I've let you down. So
Wow.
I'm coming back, though, with 3 movies this time. So instead of just talking about, what did we even talk about last time, Deontay?
Last episode? Oh man, it's been a while. I think what did we do? It was like a solo movie I think we reviewed too.
Yeah, it was my gosh. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
A trip down memory lane.
Go watch that, whatever that was. But we're here today. We got Deontay, of course, the king, and then we got a new guest. Hopefully, come on the show some more. But this is Bella.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'll give you your own introduction because I'm terrible at it, so you can introduce yourself.
Well, alrighty. Is there anything in particular you'd like me to say?
Say anything movie related. Anything that you got movie related.
Got you. I love horror movies, and I'm currently developing my own podcast about horror movies. It's called Craven Conventions. You might see it below, but on my show, which we're like halfway done recording season 1 of, I do it actually with my mom, and I swear it's cooler than it sounds.
It sounds like a great time.
It's a great time because we hit like multi-generational perspectives on female representation in horror movies for this first season. So it's a pretty cool lineup. I'm hoping to have that drop October 31st for Halloween. But yeah, I've been living in like the horror sphere for a little while now, and I'm really excited to talk about these movies. I'm not gonna lie.
We're going to have to subscribe to that channel or wherever you have your streaming services on.
You'll have free promotion from us.
For real.
Thank you. And same to you guys. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever want to talk about women, and I mean, I'm not a woman, but I can always come on the podcast and give my masculine perspective, I guess. But
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I have things to say about the women in these movies, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, you need to bring it because you know what? I've been seeing it. People have been saying the show's too masculine. We need some. I don't know how to say the word femininity. Feminine.
That's a word. Yeah, femininity.
You guys know I don't know how to speak.
Female vantage point, if you will.
Yeah, we needed a female vantage point. It was getting too male in here.
Yeah, men are boring as hell. So it's, you got to spice something up, man, and add a little flavor to your show.
Well, I will say, like, the shows you asked me to come on for, all of them have an interesting through line of, like, maternal representation, and I'm excited to look at that.
The solution to all of our mommy issues.
I guess we'll.
I don't know if it's a solution.
We're gonna fix your mommy issues today. That's the podcast. We're not even talking about horror anymore. This is a therapy podcast. Any guy out there with mommy issues, we're gonna fix them. Okay.
We got you. We see you.
Here.
We hear you.
I'm here. Like I said, I'm like a father figure to you all. I feel like, and look up to me. But anyway, with that being said, we're gonna be talking about Trap, Alien Romulus, as you can see, and Cuckoo, which. I'm not even gonna front. I didn't get to see Cuckoo, sadly. So yeah, Bella's gonna be the one on Cuckoo. She's gonna be running.
Oh no, that's so bad. Okay.
She's literally by herself.
I threw a curve. I'm sorry, I had to throw the curveball, but I wanted it to be live reactions. But like, yeah, my theater showed it for 1 week, and then I was going on vacation that week, so. I did not get to see Cuckoo, and I tried to rent it. Okay. It's not available for rent yet, and I'm against illegally. Yeah, people, I'm against it. I'm against the illegal streaming, so that's why I haven't seen Cuckoo. But
I'm proud of you, Jacob.
Yeah,
I'm an upstanding citizen.
That's a federal
I support
law.
you. I'm gonna out myself. I do enjoy illegal streaming. I'm not gonna say on what, but. I also tried to find Cuckoo, and it is not available to stream anywhere. Not even illegally. Doesn't exist.
Oh, not even illegally. See, even if I
No.
wanted to be a rascal, I couldn't be. So,
Even if you wanted to be, you could not.
Wow.
well, at least I tried. But
He's
I
protecting this
mean,
movie at all costs.
And I will clarify, I did see all of these in theaters. In fact, you inspired me to finally get the AMC A-list rewards. So
look at me. AMC paid
Yeah.
me now. AMC
Please sponsor.
sponsorship.
You guys are on a roll. Jesus, man.
And I guess with that,
Wrapping
since we're
them up.
talking about sponsorships, Deontay knows what's coming.
Mhm.
Bella, she's gonna be in for a nice surprise. Here comes my A24 plea. A24, I'm gonna look at you. I'm looking at you right in the camera. A24, you know me. I ask a plea every podcast. I always say, please hire me. I've seen you hire some terrible directors. I've seen some terrible movies by you. I'm not gonna front. I love you. I'm an A24 stan. I have your socks. I have your shirt. I lost my long sleeve shirt of yours, but that doesn't matter.
What?
I have a jacket. Okay. I have A24 branded stuff all over. All right. It's time to hire me. Okay. I have a film degree. Hire Jacob to direct something. Okay. Put me with let's see. I mean, you can put me with Jenna Ortega. That'd be nice. You could put me with I don't know who else. Who else is cool in the horror sphere?
Mia Goth.
Florence Pugh.
Mia Goth.
Yeah.
I'll be the king director for any of them. Come on.
Mhm.
I mean, you
Hire
can't
me.
leave out Hunter Schafer now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
Hunter Schafer just made the debut.
That's true. So
I'll-
A24, fire me. This is my plea. We should really edit a segment where it's like Jacob's A24 beg, because I do this every podcast, and I'm gonna harp on it again. A24, please hire me. I love you. It's actually August 24th, so it is A24 in a way. I even did this podcast for you. I waited till Saturday, August 24th. I waited for this.
That is A24. Wow.
It is
Look at me.
A24. That is so exciting, actually. That lined up beautifully.
I'm a conniving little man. Okay. I did that. So yeah, A24, hire me. Okay, I got that out of the way. I just had to get that out of the way. Sorry about that, people. But A24 will hire me. What's good? Ready for these reviews? Oh yeah, you better be ready, Blake. We're getting it.
Shout out to Blake Hickman from Fundamentals. Thank you
we
for
got my
tuning
biggest
Oh,
in.
fan.
wow. You have
You
a
got my-
biggest fan.
I am Jacob's biggest fan. And no, I know my last name is Smith. We are not related. That is not a brother or a cousin. I swear. That's just my biggest fan.
So
I
he
believe it.
says.
Yes, I have biggest fan. So
Mhm.
I'm glad you think I'm cool enough to be a fan of. I appreciate that.
I mean, you got a cool little gig going here. This is awesome.
He's pretty famous right now.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
my father would not be on a Mac or on YouTube right now, so I don't think my father. I don't think you're my father. Phil. I think you should. I think we should have a DNA test.
Uh-oh.
But yeah,
I mean, I'm sure Luke said the same thing to Darth Vader, but
that's true.
The kid looks just like him. How is he going to deny that baby?
you know.
I got off track. Okay, I got off track. But okay. So which one?
I'm so sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that's all me. This is a show. This is how we go. Like I said, I do this off. I was talking to her earlier in the chat, and I was like, I go off the dome. I don't have notes. This is what I do.
I got a question
Deontay,
for
do
you.
you ever have notes for our show? I've never asked you that. Do you ever have notes for our show?
I try, but it's been such a nasty squeeze every show. I don't know what it is. I just had bad luck, and it's just once I was like, I got to write down some notes, and then I just get squeezed on time with all this stuff going on.
I got a notebook. I just never.
You can't do anything with it.
I just go off the dome. So I guess with that being said, I'm trying to think what came out first. Trap. So let's do Trap first.
Trap.
Did you want to show off your beautiful theme song?
Oh my
Or
gosh, I
opening
forgot
theme.
my intro.
You
we
can't
haven't
forget
even-
the intro.
We haven't even hit the intro. Okay, hit the intro now. It's too beautiful.
Oh yes.
My
Eh,
shout out to Will for making that. had that for I think it's been over a year now. And shout out to him.
Willie McCoy.
I sometimes think I look a little too egotistical because it's Jacob's Film Perspectives. I have my name in the whole thing. At least, like Bella over here, she has Craven Conventions. Like, that's a smart name because, like, Wes Craven, I get it. Mine, I'm just Jacob's Film Perspectives. Just egotistical maniac. But, yeah.
I mean, you're just saying what you do. It's like...
Yeah, it's my perspectives on film.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I guess, with that being said, let's get into Trap.
Oh, man. Here comes the Trap review. I do not have a photo of this time, but I will make up for it.
You naughty man.
I have faith. There's still time.
What's good, fam? What's up, Willie?
What's going on, Mac, aka your boy?
Hey.
Shout out to him and thank you for tuning in as well.
Yeah.
SNN Crew, what's up? What's up, Eric? What's going on? How you doing?
DJ's in the house.
I see somebody said JFP with an exclamation point. Yep, that's right.
See, you got the fan base, even if it's egotistical. People have the acronym, like.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Yeah, that's right. It is what it is.
Right.
So I guess to get into Trap, I want to start with what is everybody's experience. I don't want to say experience with M. Night Shyamalan because that's a loaded question. He has you can have a lot of experiences with M. Night Shyamalan. I love the man, but sometimes. Anyway, so let's start with an easy one. What's your favorite or one of your favorites M. Night Shyamalan movies? Either of you can go.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter. Who wants to go first?
I'll take this one first. I am a huge fan of Sixth Sense. I am a huge fan of The Village.
Mm-hmm.
I love the usage of the color red. It reminds me of Don't Look Now, which is a classic film. Like, big fan of his usage of color throughout all of his pieces of media. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan, he has some hits and he has some misses for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of my thing. Like, I feel like it's a very inconsistent repertoire, and that was the thing I was kind of braced for watching Trap. Like, I did have slightly lower expectations going into it, and overall I did enjoy watching it, though, I will say.
As far as Trap goes, it was a great idea.
Yes.
Until you saw like the whole execution of it, and it's just like, because M. Night is the king of plot twists, and his plot twist was like right out the gate, and I didn't have any complaints for that. But then as the movie like went on, it's just like, this wasn't going to go as I thought it was going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like this movie kind of had like 8 acts, and I wasn't prepared for that.
No, not at all.
So what's your favorite, Deontay, of M. Night?
My favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie would probably be Signs. It traumatized the hell out of me in my childhood. Sixth Sense was up there too, and The Village as well. So those are my top 3 M. Night movies.
Shout out.
Lady in the Water wasn't too bad.
I also enjoyed Lady in the Water, yeah.
That's the one M. Night Shyamalan movie I have not seen is Lady in the Water. I skipped it for all these years because everybody told me it was garbage. I've even seen The Last Airbender, but I haven't seen Lady in the Water.
That was his too. Wow.
Yeah, but that was because I was a dumb little kid when that movie came out. So I didn't know who M. Night Shyamalan was back in 2010 or whenever that came out. I just saw it because I liked The Last Airbender. And that's an awful movie, by the way. But yeah, Village. Shout out to The Village. I'm glad both of you have it on your top 3. It's a very underrated film. Very, very underrated. I also love your point of Don't Look Now, Bella. You have great taste. That you know that movie. It's a very underseen. That is a very underseen horror film from the 70s. That's great.
It's got President Snow in his heyday. Come on.
Yes. It is spelling is incredible oh yeah. Paul Giamatti, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Giamatti in like anything though. I love Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti, but yeah. And I'd say for me, I'm gonna go with my top three. I'd have to go Unbreakable number one. Unbreakable has always been in my top 50 favorite movies. Unbreakable is by far my favorite. Then Signs, then Split. Actually, I love Split. I saw Split in theaters when I was a senior in high school, and something about that movie. It was when I first started doing reviews. Actually, I think it was the second movie I ever reviewed was Split, because I reviewed Rogue One and then I reviewed Split. So it's kind of got a special place in my heart for that.
Yeah,
and I just love Anya Taylor-Joy, and James McAvoy's amazing. So, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
so true.
That'd be my top three. But with that, I mean, Trap, I don't really know how to start with this one.
I mean, I think the most important thing is, the plot twist starts the movie, and then you're kind of set up for, like, more mayhem to unfold, but instead we get a concert that is fully conducted and produced by his daughter, which I thought was interesting. And I was like, okay, cool, this is a musical. And the other thing I kind of had an issue with is the fact that our protagonist, which is Hartnett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Josh Hartnett. Yeah, he's supposed to be like providing this great experience for his daughter, and he literally is never with his daughter, and she's like under the age of 12. I was like, what parent leaves their child like that at a concert, like when there's this much security? I was like, that's so dangerous for this little girl.
He's trying to get her to run with him too. I was like, are you insane?
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
let's
then
go into
the
the
fact-
tape.
Yeah, and like the fact that he uses her as like his ploy for getting around all of the security, I was like, oh my gosh, this poor daughter. That was like my main thing.
She's gonna live with that forever because of him.
Oh yeah, that's a traumatizing experience. Like that was awful.
Wait, my dad's a serial killer? And
Shout out Josh Hartnett, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, he did a phenomenal job with that.
Great performance. Easily, for me, if I had to say like one, like if I was on Letterboxd right now and had to give a little quick blurb, I'd go Josh Hartnett carried. But
yeah,
because like he pulls it off so well, being a serial killer but also a father at the same time. And for me, I've loved Josh Hartnett ever since I was a little kid. And he kind of went away from the limelight for a long time. And this is his first movie coming back in a while. So seeing him come back is just good. It brings back nostalgia for like some of the early movies he was in when I was growing up. And it's just good to see him back. Because he's in a great vampire film, 30 Days of Night, underrated vampire film. And he kind of just disappeared. So it's good to see him back in this space and doing stuff. So at least if the movie did anything, hopefully it revives his career because he deserves it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where would be nice to see him next. But
but like this movie from the trailers, I mean, I saw M. Night Shyamalan serial killer. I was like, oh yeah, I'm sold. I am completely in. And then it just went, oh man, the execution, and people are calling him out for like nepotism and stuff with his daughter. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. If I was a dad and I was a director, I probably would have done the same thing. So I can't really hate on him for that. And really, the concert is. I remember some people were saying it was a concert movie. Some of the early reviews or some other reviewers I've talked with or I've watched YouTube videos of said that it was like a concert film. Basically, it's really not. There's a lot of. Like, the concert is only really the first part of the movie, if you think about it. Then it kind of goes in, and we'll get into that. But, yeah, it's not a concert film. And she's a really good artist. I think she did a fine job acting. And, like, her music was good. It was just kind of like pop music. I mean, it wasn't really awful or anything. She did.
No, I actually really enjoyed, like, the songs. I thought she was very viable as, like, this big pop sensation.
Yeah, she reminds me of she gives me the vibe of Ariana Grande a little bit.
Absolutely. The one thing that I was like kind of struggling with was like I wasn't certain what demographic her fan base would have been within this world, just because I was like, this feels like an artist that like people my age would be flipping out over.
For real.
I was like kind of struggling to see the appeal for like little girls the way it was kind of presented.
I was like, I would have just went with like a JoJo Siwa type.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's like kind of a dark performance.
yeah. I think he was trying to pull off the Taylor Swift era's concerts. I think that's what he was trying to emulate. But it just doesn't work. It just, yeah. Because like even like her dances and stuff, they seemed a little sensual for like little girls. I was like, this is kind of weird. So but yeah, like overall she did great though. I mean,
no, she was phenomenal.
The performance anyway. The acting, she didn't do great. She was okay, but like senior kids to be homeless. Yes,
the artist.
That's what some people are like. Really, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at Shyamalan for putting his daughter in the movie. I mean, I get it.
Not.
You don't have to love it, but like, I mean,
yeah,
I'd do the same if I was a dad. So I get it.
Yeah,
so, you're not gonna hear any hate on this podcast for that. That's already been talked about to death on Twitter, everywhere, and other places. So X, but
his
the
daughter,
artist formerly known as Twitter.
That's right. I call it Muskville, USA. Elon Muskville. Anything goes there. I deleted my account with them and moved on to Facebook and Instagram.
I haven't had a Twitter since 6th grade, so.
Shout out to Raiden Hayes J Gaming. Thank you for tuning in, Brody. We are reviewing Trapped.
Hello. You look very happy to be here, Raiden, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the 2 emojis. That really shows you love me, and I appreciate that. Even if you know about my fetish, it's okay.
Did you tell them what the fetish was, or?
Everybody knows about the show, the Oompa Loompa thing. Do we have to get into this?
I mean,
you brought it up, bro.
Yeah. You're gonna start something, you gotta finish it.
All right, so I guess since we have a new guest, I have to explain myself.
I need the lore.
I forgot what we were even talking about. It was some movie we were talking about, and I was talking about how, I don't even know how I got on the topic, but we were talking about Willy Wonka, and I was like, man, I'd love to have an Oompa Loompa. Ever since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with Oompa Loompas. And then people in the comments were like, do you have an Oompa Loompa fetish? And I was like, I guess you could call it that, or something, something along those lines. And now I am known as the man on the internet with the Oompa Loompa fetish by some. And I almost got a Funko Pop of an Oompa Loompa and put it on my little on-air sign here just to be that guy. But it got lost in the mail. I bought one. I actually did buy one. I got my money back, thankfully, but I actually did buy one. Apparently, they're actually rare. And so I spent a pretty penny on one. And it got lost in the mail. So it wasn't meant to be. My Oompa Loompa was not meant to be here. So... But yeah, that's
what the fetish. Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't call it a fetish. There's nothing sexual about it. I think Oompa Loompas are cool, and yeah, I'd love to have one. So,
but I mean, like, this is the film that gave us "Daddy, I want a squirrel." Like, so
sure.
I'm just saying.
I mean, the best part. I mean, I'll criticize it now. Actually, the new Wonka, the way they CGI'd the Oompa Loompa, disgrace for that.
Why they have to?
It's actually. I think Wonka is actually a great movie, but besides the CGI Oompa Loompa, I really did not care for that because I'm an Oompa Loompa purist, and I want my Oompa Loompa to be a real person.
We know you take your Oompa Loompa very seriously in film representation. Yeah.
I'm an Oompa Loompa guy. But yeah, that's the Oompa Loompa fetish. So back to Trap. Anyway. we won't go too crazy with me here. Trap. trap.
I mean, our next act is like the escaping, and I will say I did really enjoy the various chaotic ways he was worming his way into like the security team so he could figure out what was happening. Like that part felt a little like a spy movie, and I was like, "Ooh, I feel displaced from what's actually happening. This is fun."
Right?
Yeah. Even though the
Really
guy,
good.
his whole interaction with the guy at the merch table was so M. Night Shyamalan unrealistic. I was like, come on now. I was like, I've been to I've never been to a concert. So like I can't say if this is true or false. But
Wait, you've never been to a concert?
no, I've never been to a concert.
What?
You know what? I'm a small town Missouri boy. I don't know.
Okay, but I will say, like, good catch though, because I've been to many like big concerts like that, and that interaction felt very forced to me as well. So,
I was just like, I don't think working in a concert, especially with the crazy fan base this girl apparently had, that he would go all the way in the back and take the guy with him backstage to get
Show
the
him where the
shirt.
shirts.
I was like, you're losing me here.
yeah, no, it was very like, wow, you called in all of these professional like security members, and this guy managed to derail everything that you set up. That's a little bit hard to believe.
Yeah.
No offense.
No way he made it past him without getting caught like that.
Yeah, it
No
just
way.
made the team feel very, very incompetent from jump.
It's like you knew he was going to be there at the concert. You had a strategy to block off all his exits, and you still couldn't like be 10 steps ahead of him.
I
He's
will
just
say,
one guy.
I did appreciate. Did you guys stay for the little mid-credit scene?
Yep.
Did I?
Did you, Deontay, or did you leave? Did you commit a movie sin?
I don't remember. I don't remember anything I saw since the credits hit. Maybe I did see it.
When the guy sees him on TV?
That's right. Yeah, he's like, that's the dude.
Yeah.
When he recognized him on the TV.
That actually was pretty funny. I'll give him that. That was
I
funny.
did enjoy that.
That was
He's
that
like,
was
I'm
a
never
good-
talking to anybody ever again.
That was a good bit.
He basically reenacted the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like, ooh, and he points at the TV and recognizes something.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, we're gonna dive into this, but my overall Alien Romulus. Oh, okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Word
Ooh.
789. But yeah, my overall thing with Trap was it was like a decent, good movie for me, and then it just kind of devolved, and then it felt like it went on. It was only an hour and 40 something minutes. I want to say an hour 50 minutes max, and it felt like it was 3.5 hours because
Agreed.
it just kept going. There was no sense of pace whatsoever, and everything that is done once the concerts everything past the concert stuff is either stuff that was like just ridiculous that I didn't care about, or stuff that I've seen in 1,000 other movies where it's like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here, and I like immediately knew. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go, Deontay?
The lack of effort is what I'll sum it all up to. His lack of effort. Like, you don't pay attention to your own detail. Like, somebody else had to direct this movie because this couldn't have been Midnight Show. Maybe it was M. Night Shyamalan because like, he does have a bad reputation with directing movies, but it's just like, this is a different level of carelessness that I did not expect from him when making this movie. It's just like, oh, if I just throw in a bunch of celebrities and like make it feel like people are in a concert, and it'll be distracted from the fact that this movie is about to go straight to hell while everybody's watching it.
Yeah, I had a really hard time trying to figure out like what the overall message of this film is. Like, what was I supposed to leave the theater believing or feeling? Like, that was really inconclusive for me. But I also feel like a lot of his latest films, he sets you up to believe you're watching like this very genre-based film and then flips it to be actually about like some sort of familial turmoil. And like I felt that way watching The Visit. You had me up until that final scene with the mom, and then I was like, okay, this just got really cheesy to me and I don't really buy this. And I felt the same way about Trap, where it's like we have that final act where it's him talking to his wife. And I was like, okay, wait, so what was this movie about? Because this feels like 5 different things I just watched.
For real. Like he shoved like 3 different movies into one.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Old. Yes. I'm looking at the comments. Sorry.
Where can one watch Trap? You can watch
Trap
it.
is in theaters.
Yeah, you can watch it in theaters. It's not home yet. It's for streaming, or at least last time I checked, it wasn't. So right now, it's still in theaters. Not gonna Old. Yeah, Old. I didn't even see Old in theaters. I saw Old on HBO Max at home. I didn't even. Old is. It was just the.
It was fine. Like.
Yeah, for me though. He hasn't had a hit. I mean, for me though, and I actually really do like The Visit, like more than most people. Something about that movie I like. I rewatched it. I showed it to a friend a few months back. They actually had seen it, but they thought they hadn't seen it until we watched it. But and I actually still love The Visit. I love The Visit. I don't know why, but it's just it's hilarious to me. It's actually creepy. Like it still creeped me out, and like it kept me tense the whole time, even though I knew what was happening because I've seen it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is actually pretty creepy." I think I'm in the minority with The Visit, but I like The Visit.
The tension is amazing. I'm not trying to diss The Visit whatsoever. It's just that final scene. Like if that movie didn't have that final scene with the kids talking to the mom, I would be more okay with it. But that just felt so out of place to me.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I can see that.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying
to. I do. It changes the way I do escapism, really, because I was in the story, and then I got dragged out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Trap. I don't. It's kind of one of those movies. It's almost an enigma because it's hard to talk about because it's so many things, but it doesn't do anything well.
Yeah.
Except maybe the first act.
Yeah.
I mean, the first act, it sets it up. It sets it up well in the first act. I think Josh Hartnett's killing it, and the girl who plays his daughter is actually a really good actress. Don't know her name, but she was great. She's maybe one of the only. She's like the audience character almost in this movie because like her dad was so weird, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, yeah, that's how. Like she acted like a real person, so like she was. I think she may have been one of the only ones that acted like a real person in this film. But that's M. Night Shyamalan for you. His movies always have those weird characters that just come out of nowhere and don't really act like a person you've ever met in your entire life. But hey, it's M. Night Shyamalan. But
what can you do?
Hey, where's all this weirdness coming from, M. Night? I really want to like have an interview with him so we can sit down and get to the bottom of like how the hell his shit keeps like going sideways every time.
They're very ambitious pieces, and they're just not very streamlined in how they're trying to achieve the goals of each of the storylines. Like they just kind of keep layering one storyline after the other without ever finishing one of the threads. It's weird.
Oh god.
Yeah. I saw this movie and actually an Alamo Draft House. I've never been to one before. I was in St. Louis and they have one. And I love Alamo. I've heard about them for years, but I finally went to one. So that kind of enhanced the experience, but even still, I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I came to the movie theater for this movie because, like, if I guess if people watching this don't know what Alamo is, it's kind of like a dinner theater almost because you get, you don't have to, but you can get food while you're there. And I ate dinner there while I watched Trap, and it's kind of hard to watch a movie while eating. I've learned. So I'm kind of glad Trap was the movie I watched at this place because if it was a good movie, I'd be upset. But because it was Trap, I was just like, it's okay.
We saw this coming from a mile away, so we
I was
got
like,
in good.
I know this movie. This is so many tropes. I mean, it just didn't. Yeah, I think his last good movie was Split. Haven't seen Trap. I'm trying to think. Split. I think Glass is actually his last good movie. As an Unbreakable fan, I think Glass is actually a really good movie. But other than that,
that was like a series of 3 or 4 movies, wasn't it? It was Unbreakable, Split, Glass, and then like I think there was one more with Samuel L. Jackson. And he played like the guy with the crazy hair. There's a movie named after him. Or
I know what you're talking. That's Glass, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Glass.
Yeah.
It's called the something trilogy. It's some kind of railway something trilogy. It's named after like the train in the first movie. I forgot. I love that trilogy. I think it's great. But yeah, The Trap. I just theater movie. It's the only theater movie you can eat. That hurt my brain. I'm sorry. I like how unseen. Yeah, I could see that. Glass was a little more fantastical, but I mean, Split. He's running around like a beast, so that's kind of fantastical. And Unbreakable, he's lifting stuff. So I mean, yeah. But Trap, oof. I wish I don't like I said. There's so many like ways you can get into this movie, but it's just like, what's the point?
That's what I want to know. M. Night Shyamalan, please.
Yes, what's the point? If you're watching this, I know you're watching this. I'm the number one podcast. I'm the number one podcast Hollywood directors watch. So, tell me, message me, M. Night. I know I have your cell phone number. Text me. What was the purpose? Emojis? Yeah. What was the purpose of this movie? Like, you also, expect me to believe? Oh, you go.
It's okay if you want it. Are you sure? I don't want to cut you off.
I was going to say something stupid probably, so you go.
I'm going to say something really stupid right now. So my point was just, hey, no.
I'm intrigued.
The fact that this movie is named Trap and it's about the trapping of a serial killer, but also that's a genre of music.
Hey, I love trap, so yeah.
They missed the
but then the artist doesn't perform trap music.
No.
They should have had Travis Scott. Travis Scott should have been in this movie.
Right? It's going to get Russ and Kid Cudi.
The second I figured out this was about a concert, I was like sitting in the audience and I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to have like a trap artist. And then we got Lady Raven and I was like, oh, okay, no. So you fully just named this about the first 15 minutes of this movie. Cool.
Right. As soon as he got out the trap, it was just like, what else are you going to call it?
Like, okay, cool. So now it's actually just about Lady Raven being trapped, I guess.
And now, she's the one trapped now.
yeah, it's like reverse cat mouse game, I guess.
Oh my god!
Shout out Kid Cudi for this movie. He was great for his little part. He was hilarious for his little part.
His little 30-second flirt with Josh Hartnett was something
his
else.
Little flirt with Josh Hartnett was the greatest scene of the movie for me. So
he flipped his hair.
When he's trying to pull in Josh Hartnett, that's the best scene in the entire movie.
He hit the hardest switch I've ever seen.
Yep. Also, speaking of mommy issues, can we talk about the mommy issues in this movie?
Yes.
I mean, we started off the episode mentioning mommy issues, but like this one really hits home that theme.
That's a valid point. Point.
Mommy issues was just thrown in there for me. I was just like, okay. It was like, it's one of those dime a dozen mommy issues things where I was like, I've seen this before. Is this all you got in Night? Because like he sees his mom. He keeps seeing his mom. He sees her in the bathroom, which is why are you seeing your mom in a public restroom? That's kind of weird, bro. But and then he sees her in the other concert. He sees her like at the other parts of the concert, and then at the end with the whole detective. I was just like, oh, come on.
Oh, you're forgetting my favorite part, and that's when Lady Raven starts trying to talk to him in the car like she is his mother to get him to let her go.
Yes.
She
See,
did do that. Oh my
Uh-huh.
god.
I forgot about that. But yeah, see,
I watched this
a
Wow.
good
movie.
director. You know, this movie was going for like it had comedy in other parts.
Mhm.
They could have inserted a great comedy scene right there, but instead they just full tilt into it where it's like it works on them. Where the comedy route, you should have just went the comedy route where he's like, "That's not going to work on me," and then he's just like, "What the?" Just be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like something like that. But no, it works on him, and it's just like, what?
Mhm.
I don't think that's how
Mhm.
mommy. I mean, I guess if you're psychopathic, got it. I guess that's how a mommy issue could work. If somebody talks like your mom to you, I don't know. I just have
It's
overall
really hard to
pathetic.
say. Yeah, just because like we know going in that Lady Raven is aware that her concert is a setup to catch the butcher. Like that is the serial killer Josh Hartnett plays alias the butcher, which I think is really funny because there's actually a book called The Butcher by Joyce Carol Oates, and it's actually about like the history of female gynecology. So I was like, that came out this
Oh.
year as well, and
Wow.
that's also the serial killer name that you pick for this movie. Interesting.
So creative. A good job, you
Very
mate.
creative. Yeah.
Such an original thought for a serial killer.
Exactly. I was like, the butcher? That's okay. Cool. I see the level of creativity we're operating at.
So
Amazing.
genius.
But literally, it's like this movie is part concert, part escape, part kidnapping, part mommy issues, and then part I think he is finally in prison, but maybe not because he escapes. And then just a cameo from a random guy, and that's basically it.
She summed it up perfectly. Yes, that's basically it.
It's a little all over the place. If you're into
Yeah.
that, I mean, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, you will. You will. Just go on a matinee days where you get cheaper tickets. Don't
Yeah.
pay full
Yes.
price for this movie. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Maybe
And-
if it ever comes on Netflix one day, maybe give it a shot on a rainy day.
Mhm.
I guess because
And
like
I'm waiting for M. Night Shyamalan's daughter to drop her EP. That's it.
I'm counting on that.
but yeah, I just and like the end, I was like, when the end happened and he gets out of his cuffs, I was just like, so you're gonna make a sequel to this? That's what that was my exact reaction. Like, how are you gonna make a sequel to this? Like,
Please don't.
it was
It's
obviously
actually going to be a prequel.
it was so sequel baity.
Yeah.
I was just like, come on. I was just like, come on. And then like they set it up that he has OCD, and like they do it in the most typical movie OCD fashion I have ever seen. Okay, I'm gonna out myself here. Your boy, Jacob's Film Perspectives, I actually do have OCD, and let me tell you, I'm not fixing a towel, and I'm not gonna pick up a little girl's bike and just sit it up because it's on the ground. I mean, other people have different experiences with OCD, but like that was just like it almost insulted me as someone with OCD to just have the most basic, plain white, just like OCD stuff in it, like where he fixes the towel and then he like puts the bike back up, and obviously he's getting a spoke from the bike to like break out of the
key.
cuffs. We learn later, but like at the time, it's just like you just add that in there to add like what was the purpose of adding that if you're gonna have that was the only two scenes that it shows anything with OCD that I can remember is when he fixes the towel in the bathroom and when he fixes the bike or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're hitting on like the exact problem I have holistically with this film, Jacob. Like you took a lot of really intense topics and you gave the most surfaced depiction on all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
It stressed me out. Like dude's sitting in the
Mhm.
back of like an armored vehicle with no officers guarding him, and he just like casually unlocking his handcuffs. So they screwed up police research completely. Like he's getting escorted out. They like, he's a serial killer, so we're just gonna let him touch the bike and give a hug to his daughter. It's like, what the hell? What are y'all doing? This would never happen in
Empathy.
real life, right? You got empathy for a serial killer. And then he takes down two armed officers when he escapes. Then
My
and he
favorite
puts on a
part,
suit in like 5 minutes.
yeah, my favorite part was when he is in the limo and he's driving and he's in the SWAT suit, and then there's Lady Raven merchandise right next to him, and it perfectly fits him perfectly. You know, it's just like random merchandise, but it's perfect jeans that fit him, I guess, and perfect shirt and a jacket and a hat that fit him perfectly. And somehow he changed out of his SWAT suit into that and got into the crowd while the SWAT were coming in on him. How did
Jacob, that is perfectly believable.
Like, I mean,
are you telling me you've never heard of a quick change?
I've tried to listen. I've tried to change my shirt in the car, and I have enough trouble. Like, how are you going to get out of a gigantic SWAT suit and like with the SWAT coming in on you, like? But at that point of the movie, I was just riding along with it. I was like, okay, this is what this is. Mm-hmm. So like, a lot of people have problems. The logic issues didn't really bother me that much while watching it because all the other stuff bothered me so much that I just like when they let the daughter hug him and stuff, I didn't even blink an eye because I was just like, yeah, this is what this movie is. Like, it's gonna be that. I just kind of accepted it, I guess, at that point.
So much.
It's actually about the family,
right? That's a quote from Vin Diesel himself.
He is a serial killer. He's supposed to be this smart, super intelligent serial killer, and he sits here and he believes his wife is not going to do anything, and he doesn't figure out that the pie is poisoned until it's too late. It's just like, she definitely drugged you, bro. Like, I was like, when she was like, immediately when she said we got to eat that pie or whatever she said, I was just like, I immediately was like, oh yeah, she gonna drug you, boy. And then what has happened? He gets drugs, and he's supposed to be super smart, but he's sitting there, and he does watch her eat it. So I guess that was M. Night Shyamalan's way of explaining, like, oh, he saw her eat it, so it's fine. I'm still not eating that pie because just because hers is fine doesn't mean his is. Like, and then he gets tased, and then all of a sudden he becomes a superhuman, and he gets tased 3 times before he falls down. I'm just like, that's not how that works, but okay.
Yeah.
And then he sees his mother, or he thinks he sees his mother, but it's the FBI agent, old lady, and that is the dumbest old FBI agent I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I was like very offended by that because we have the guy that tells us early on, like, oh yeah, she's taken down like 12 of these guys. She's amazing at her job, and she is awful at her job the entire film.
Fails miserably to catch one guy who falls into all her traps, and she still couldn't trap him. He's like, you were 10 steps ahead of him, then he got 10 steps ahead, you got 10 steps ahead, and then he beats you. How did that work?
Mm-hmm.
But
you know, we make up for it because we have our post credits, and that's where we see the recreation of the Marauders map from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban's final credits as well.
Absolutely.
It's the little map, and it has the feet going. I was like, I feel like I'm watching the end of Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban.
M. Night Shyamalan is a fan. He is clearly a fan.
I think he was trying to tell us something.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys give this movie?
I will let Bella go first.
Oh, that's mean. Okay.
You're the guest. You get to go first. That's just how it goes.
I would say it's like a solid 3.7. I don't know if you do points.
Yeah,
we do that. Everybody has their own rating system, so it doesn't matter. Just whatever rating system you do works.
Like, it's definitely not the worst thing I've ever seen, and there were parts of it that I did enjoy. It just felt like 50 acts, and I just didn't understand what the point was. So I was like, you're entertaining to an extent, but not much more.
Oh, Lord.
What about you, Deontay?
What would I give this movie? Because the inconsistency for me was a little bit disrespectful. Because it's like, you're the experienced director who's given us Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, and then movies like Sixth Sense, Village, Signs.
Yes.
And movies like that, and you pump out stuff like the Avatar Last Airbender movie, and then movies like Trap, and it's just like, dude, why do you hate us so much? I want to make you guys spend like $17 at the movie theater just to see like the most lackluster plot and story of all time in his whole career. So it's just like I should give him the meanest score. I want to, but since he was kind enough to give his daughter some spotlight, I won't completely like destroy him with my score. So I'll say a solid 5 out of 10. I could have given him a 0.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I would argue some people spend $17 to see Josh Hartnett shirtless for a very long and strange period of time at the dinner table.
They got their money's worth.
I loved it.
Oh, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm just simply arguing that could, to some people, be worth $17.
That's true.
It was like 3 minutes.
Much like me, and you went to Alamo Draft House and you spent a lot of money on food as well, and then. So I should be really mean to this movie, actually, but I'm not. I mean, we know like my grade because I do like 2 now. I used to just do like school. I do school grades for movies because I'm that type of guy. But then I also do letterbox grades because I have a letterbox and that's what I do. But so for me, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 on letterbox. Which is actually not that bad in letterbox terms. In letterbox terms, it's decent type if you're going by the letterbox algorithm. And for me, for my actual grade wise, it's really not that bad. I give it a C+. Like, I thought it was decent. Like, I don't think it's as bad as Old. I think I like Trap better than Old. I like Trap better than what's another? The Last Airbender for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
on that.
I don't think this is a terrible movie. I really don't. I think there's some decent thoughts that are put in here. Yes, they're very surface level, but if it wasn't for Josh Hartnett, this movie would definitely be like I even said this after I saw the movie. I said if Josh Hartnett wasn't in this, it's a D-. Like it gets a C+ for me just because of Josh Hartnett's performance, and I'm rooting for the guy. And yeah, so for me, C+, 2.5 out of 5 on my letterbox. And yeah, I mean, that's M. Night Shyamalan for you. Maybe his next movie. I was hoping this one would be great because I saw Serial Killer, I saw Josh Hartnett, I saw M. Night Shyamalan. I was just like, ooh, at a concert, what's this gonna be like? His concepts are always so good. He's so good with his concepts. Just his follow through is just so hit and miss. It's just like a meme at this point, where it's just like, man, you don't know if you're either gonna get one of the best movies of the year or one of the worst.
Yeah, honestly,
facts.
His plot twist and his on and off reputation with these movies, I just don't. This would probably be my last time going to the theaters to see any of his releases. So I will wait for streaming if something's really good, but I don't know if I can trust him anymore.
I'm an eternal optimist. So I'll still be there for his next film. I'm a Shyamalan fan, but man, I just hope it's good. That's all I can say about I hope it's good. Anybody else have any closing thoughts on Trap?
Better luck next time.
That's a good one. So I guess for that, since we haven't seen Cuckoo, you're taking the reign on this one.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
We got to save the big one for last. Alien is the big one. We got to make people watch.
Okay.
It's a ploy. It's a ploy for me. You know, I have to manipulate these people. And
hold them hostage.
You didn't hear that. I love you guys. I love every single one of you. You are my children, and yeah.
Okay.
Toxic
it feels a little like Trap, I'm not gonna lie.
You know,
getting some vibes.
I hope it has a better twist at least.
Hopefully. Just better writing,
Mhm.
generally.
Just a little bit of effort. You already beat M. Night.
Mhm.
Yes. I think I
Okay,
could.
Go ahead and say what you're gonna say. I keep unintentionally cutting everybody off. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
That's just how this happens. It's just we just talk. You can interrupt us all you want. You could take over this podcast. It could be Isabella's
film perspectives.
perspectives if you want it.
Nobody wants that, trust me, but I appreciate
Hey,
it.
nobody wants this either. But you know what? I'm here. I'm here, and my fans are here too,
Mhm.
willingly or not.
Okay.
But
I'm
yeah.
excited to talk about Cuckoo because Cuckoo was actually my favorite out of all three of these.
Oh.
Yeah, hot take. Alien Romulus was incredible. I did enjoy that. But Cuckoo, Hunter Schafer. I love Hunter Schafer. Hunter Schafer did a phenomenal job in this horror movie. It is a high concept film that needed a lot more explanation of the science that we were watching unfold. To give you guys, did you guys like read a summary or anything of like what this movie is?
I did. And it
What did your
confused me.
summary say? Because I'm really fascinated by how anyone could sum up this film.
Oh, it was something about like a entity stalking her or something, like a physical entity.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so obviously we're taking inspiration from the cuckoo bird. Hunter Schafer's mother has died, and her character has been sent to live with her father in like this weird community in Germany, and they're like renovate, and his job is to like renovate like this really upper class hotel facility. It doesn't really get into like the nitty-gritty details of like what they do. But you meet Dan Stevens, and I absolutely adore Dan Stevens. That's the Beast from the Beauty and the Beast live action. It's also the guy who sings the Lion Tamer song from Eurovision that goes way too hard for no reason. Like,
At all.
at all. Yeah, great actor. I absolutely love him in like pretty much anything he's ever done. But he plays the most insane like mad scientist character disguised as like the hotel owner.
Really?
But he's doing these experiments on women where he's like infusing. This is what I mean by like the science needed a lot more explanation, because this was like the heart of the story, and I don't know actually how to answer any questions about it. Essentially, he takes this woman and he like does something to her mentally to like react to childbirth the way like the cuckoo bird does.
Wow.
Yeah, because the cuckoo bird, apparently, I learned a lot about the cuckoo bird watching this movie. It lays its eggs in other birds' nests and then lets the other species of bird raise its young. So he had done this to this woman. Like, he let this woman give birth to a child, gave that child to another mother as though it was hers. Like, they pick women who are about to go into labor and then switch the baby, I guess.
Wow.
And then they raise the child. But then when they are, like, when that child comes back within the vicinity of the cuckoo bird mom, she like starts giving out this really weird like call, and it starts triggering the child, and like they start vibrating and like weird things happen.
Oh my Jesus.
Yeah, so like the whole film, you're leading to that discovery, and that's why Hunter Schafer is getting chased. I cannot for the life of me remember her character's name. But she like when she's there, she starts getting chased by the cuckoo bird mom, and it's this lady. She's really creepy looking. She's got red eyes, and she wears like, it's really unsettling watching this character be as violent and as powerful as they are. Like, it gives a little bit of like a superhero quality of like, how are you doing this? The other thing that I kind of had a discrepancy with is like the timeline of the film, because every time she appears and Hunter Schafer like is looking at her, scenes will repeat. Like 10-second intervals will repeat 3 times, and then we wake up somewhere else. So it's a little hard to follow where we are in space and time, and I definitely left with a lot of questions. I'm fairly certain Hunter Schafer's character was a cuckoo baby, but we also are led to believe that her younger stepsister is also a cuckoo bird. And yeah, I'm doing a horrible job talking about this movie. It's very complicated.
Or at least selling it.
You're doing a great job. You're doing
Yeah, you do a great job talking to us about it. Selling it, however.
I was already sold. I saw Neon. I saw Dan
Mhm.
Stevens. I'm sold.
It's absolutely a great film to watch. I enjoyed it. The atmosphere is fantastic. The jump scares are on point. It's a new and innovative science-based horror story. I just wish we had given a little bit more time to talking about the science of like what the actual experimentation happening on this hotel plot is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was really the only issue I had with it. Was like I couldn't get invested in what was actually happening because then we cut. I assume like things had to have been cut to a pretty extreme degree, just because we focus a lot on the stepsister and older sister relationship between Hunter Schafer and the little girl after a certain point, and Hunter Schafer like takes her away. Because there's also like this mad shootout plot that happens between the scientist and this man who believes his wife was stolen from him to be one of the cuckoo experiments. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's very complicated. It is actually pretty cohesive, with the exception of the science. That's my review for you.
We will have to give it a chance.
No, I'm definitely giving it. Like
I
I've
recommend
literally-
watching it. I actually
Mhm.
really enjoyed it.
I literally looked, and Pookie Bear 4000 says perfect job, by the way, to you, Bella, for that.
Aw, thank you.
How about you, Pookie Bear 4000?
Absolutely.
I was looking for like theaters near me for like within like 70 miles, and like it wasn't showing anywhere. I've been checking Fandango or Vudu and all that religiously. Like, come on, give it to me. The problem with Neon is they don't, which actually it's not a problem. It's actually great. A lot of studios now are sending their movies from theaters to home within 2 weeks. Usually about 2 weeks. Like the new Twisters was, you could stream from home 2 weeks after it was out in theaters. But Neon, for some reason, they're amazing because they actually like let the movie circulate in theaters for a long time before you're able to watch it on streaming, which is good for the movie, and I'm glad they do that. It just sucks for my podcast because
It
it
does.
sucks for me, but overall I support them in what they're doing because they're basically the new A24 is what they're basically becoming. A24 is becoming bigger. It's huge now. And Neon is like the new A24. And I've been following them for the last 3.5 years, I want to say. Ever since Pig came out is when I was like, okay, I need to watch. I'm on this Neon train. And then, because that was like my second or first favorite movie of that year. And like everything Neon puts out or A24, I'm there. So I saw Neon, I saw Dan Stevens. I love him in The Guest. That's an underrated horror film, kind of horror action.
Oh yeah.
Everybody should go watch The Guest if you haven't. Great film. It also has Michael Monroe in it, and that's my girl. Great film.
Scream Queen,
Michael Monroe, and yeah. So like I've already been sold. I've been looking for this movie this was my most anticipated movie with Trap and Alien Romulus actually for the rest of the year, But you know what? It just had to come to theaters. The week I was on vacation, I was like, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I'm really sorry you weren't able to see it because, yeah, this was honestly like actually reinvigorated a lot of my love for horror movies while watching it. Just because I've seen a lot of really bad horror movies.
Yeah.
And this one actually managed to get me. Like, I actually felt scared. I didn't know where it was going, and I was delighted by where it did. So, highly recommend this movie, actually.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I'm going to give this one a solid 8. Even with the high concept and like the science being a little wonky, I still bought all of the performances. I still really enjoyed how cinematic it was. Like there were some really great shots. I thought the supernatural effects were really well executed. To answer the question from Pookie Bear 4000, it's this is the movie Cuckoo that we're talking about.
Yeah, shout out Cuckoo. Apparently, Hunter Schafer is a big deal. I have never seen her in anything, so
Hunter Schafer is amazing.
I'm out. I guess I'm an old man out of the loop because
Guess
like,
what?
I don't.
Guess what show Hunter is from? Euphoria.
Euphoria. Okay.
And Hunter Schafer.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney, Jacob Elordi, all of them are from Euphoria.
I haven't watched Euphoria, so.
Hunter Schafer is particularly strong on that show, but also she just played Tigress in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the Hunger Games.
Oh, I have seen her then.
Wow.
I have seen her then. Okay. She was in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Okay, I have seen her then. That was a great movie. That's the only thing I've seen her in then.
Yeah, now you have a fourth reason to watch Euphoria.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I don't care about high school people. I don't know. Like that was my holdback. It's like high school people doing drugs. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good, fam. My high school was that. Like, I don't need Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria is different. It's a very cinematic experience when it comes to watching someone deal with addiction. This is like, woo.
Interesting. I like some of the songs that came out of Euphoria, but Sydney Sweeney, of course. Zendaya, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'll have to check out Euphoria, I guess, eventually. I started watching it one day. I watched like the first episode and then I just fell off. But,
yeah.
Man.
Hunter Schafer. Okay. That's it. I'll have to look out for her then. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about her online lately. And I was like, who is this lady? I was like, I know she's in Cuckoo, but like, what has she been in? Because I've seen something and now I know what she's been in.
She killed it in Cuckoo, and the little girl in Cuckoo was also phenomenal. Like, they had great chemistry. Yeah.
Okay.
I already gave my notes. Other than that, really enjoyed it. I was very, very impressed by this movie.
I'll have to check it out as soon as it hits streaming now. So, but it'll be worth the watch.
Yeah. Absolutely, especially if you like cuckoo birds. I didn't know that they did that. It was like giving changeling. I learned so much about this bird's nesting protocols.
It's like, that's nice to know now.
I'm like, I have learned and grown.
I am so much smarter today than I was yesterday.
I am ready for National Geographic. Sign me up. But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely checking out Cuckoo. I'm definitely gonna pay to watch it too, because it'll be like $20 when it comes to streaming. I'm definitely gonna drop a 20 for that.
Yeah.
I really want Barbara Creed to give an analysis of this film. I'm not gonna lie.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Who is that? I forgot.
Barbara Creed is the one who she's like a feminist horror film theorist. Yeah.
Oh.
And she is the one that created the monstrous feminine trope. But like specifically she calls out Alien and aliens for like the archaic mother, I believe. And I'm curious because Cuckoo's kind of not falling into one specific category for me, because she has like 7 archetypes that she lays out for like how monstrous feminine can be depicted in film.
Yeah.
I want to know what she thinks of this one, because it's entirely a monstrous feminine cuckoo bird woman thing.
I mean, maybe more with this movie than Alien.
I don't know about that, but it's something. It's something.
Right. I'm gonna have to check this out when she films it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I write an article.
I saw, I think it was one of the YouTubers I watch is Cody Leach. I don't know if you guys will ever watch him, but
nope.
He said that this had the best. He's like a horror YouTuber. Yeah. He's actually shout out to Cody Leach. He's really great. He gives like honest, truthful opinions about horror movies, and he said this had the best scares of the year. And like, I trust him.
I agree. I agree. The jump scares were on point for this, and it was just terrifying at points in ways I wasn't anticipating. Like, it feels very new. It feels very fresh as far as like what we're used to seeing in horror films.
Yeah, I can't say the same about Longlegs.
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen Longlegs? Okay.
Not yet.
That's what we talked about. Was Longlegs. That's what
Last episode, yeah.
Was Longlegs was our last episode.
And I intentionally didn't listen to that one because I didn't want to be spoiled.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
We got your heart broken listening to our reviews for that movie.
Shout out. Yeah. I mean, she's on the show, so I guess we can't really shout. I mean, she's being shouted out by being on the show, so I don't have to say shout out, but you know what it is. Anyway.
Y'all ready for the grand finale?
So
I mean,
excited.
yeah, I got a lot to talk about with Alien, so yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
Man,
Shout
was
out.
such a
Yes.
great movie. That's all I was going to say. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, there we go.
I thought his visual froze.
Me too.
Wait, did his mic go out?
Is my mic out?
Oh,
there you go.
there he is.
No, you're good.
Am I okay?
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on in his end.
I
like
think
his
you're
screen.
lagging just a little bit, but yeah, you're good
Oh,
now.
no. Oh no. Shout out Jesus Christ. Yes. Shout out Jesus Christ.
Shout out to Jesus.
Hey.
So we're gonna let Isabella do the first opinion on Alien Romulus.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel bad.
He was frozen in time. Wow. We should make a horror movie about this. Just like you're in the
It's
middle
called
of
Zoom.
podcast. He just glitches out and he's stuck there.
Let's get M. Night Shyamalan on that one. That feels right.
He'll have the perfect plot twist for that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay, so now we know that's the magic word. Oh no!
Oh wow. What in the world? And then there were two.
And then there were two. Okay. Do we want to wait or do we want to like get the ball rolling?
I guess maybe we could like after you're done, like we could do like a summary or a recap when he comes back. So the ball's all yours.
Sounds good. Yeah, I saw this one in IMAX. 10 out of 10 experience. Would go again. At 10:45 a.m., I kicked off my Saturday morning this way. It put me in the right mindset. Yes.
Yes.
I was a big fan. Oh, hi, welcome back.
What happened? Did I die?
You got absorbed by the universe. I don't.
Yeah. You disappeared into the ether. We weren't sure what was going on.
Every time Jacob says Jesus Christ, he glitches. He is the Antichrist. What?
Yep.
You know what? Maybe I am. So the movie was good. The sound was beautifully done to me this time. Visually, like minute details that would make it nearly perfect. I like your name, Darth Gory Corn. It's a pretty good.
I
name.
like it too. Yeah.
Shout out to Darth Gory Corn. Thank you for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you like the minute
fan.
details. That is true. Yep.
Agreed. Yeah. You know, this funnily enough actually goes into my thoughts on this movie. This film, to me, felt like it started out as like a Dungeons and Dragons one-shot campaign from a bunch of Alien fans, and they'd like set the campaign in the universe, created this story, and then, hey, let's turn it into a screenplay. This would be cool.
Okay. I like that. I like that comparison.
Yeah, it has absolutely no connection to like the original franchise. It just happens in that space and time. It's a little like fan fiction within the universe. And I kind of enjoyed that quality though.
Yeah. He took the safe route and it worked for him.
Yeah.
So I guess What did I miss while I was gone? Did I miss anything alien?
I don't think so.
No, nothing really important.
Oh. See,
I
when I
talked about
leave,
seeing it in IMAX.
so you're just saying when I leave, the world stops. Okay.
Right?
I accept that. But anyway, Alien Romulus. I guess to start this, let's talk about the Alien franchise. Well, a little bit, the Alien franchise as a whole, because it's a mess. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have willingly only seen Alien, Aliens, Alien Covenant. I skipped 3 because I heard about 3, and I'm a huge David Fincher stan, and he said that he disowns Alien 3 even though he directed it. So
wow.
the fact I've seen all of David Fincher's films except Alien 3, and I was gonna watch it, but then he said that it's not his film. The studio took over, and he wishes it would be erased from existence. Like, he hates that movie. So like I haven't watched it just out of respect for him as the director. And then Alien Resurrection, I've heard it was horrible, don't care. And then I haven't seen Prometheus. I've heard a lot. Prometheus is a lot of people's like underrated favorite. So I've been trying to I'll get to Prometheus, but yeah, I've only seen Alien, Aliens, and Alien Covenant as far as my Alien watching goes. And for me, out of those 3, if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Alien, honestly.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's like the OG Alien, Romulus, and actually, I would say Romulus is probably my number 1 in my top 3 Alien movies. So Romulus, Covenant, and then the OG. In that order.
Nice.
I love Alien movies.
But you've seen all.
I've seen probably what we're dealing with, like 7 movies out so far. So I've probably seen about 5 out of 7.
Okay. What about you?
I have seen Alien and I have seen Aliens, and that is all I was willing to watch.
Yeah.
So Romulus was perfect for me.
So good.
As long as you've seen Alien, like, I guess that's a disclaimer to everybody watching. As long as you've seen the first Alien, that's all you need to see to watch this movie. It's the first Alien. And really, you could watch this without seeing the first Alien. It just helps. It would help your experience if you watched the original Alien.
Yeah, I agree with words.
Oh no, go ahead.
The word 789 posted Aliens 3 and Aliens Resurrection never happened. Those are actually the 2 movies I not only avoided but just not have seen naturally. So I did myself a service.
Yep.
I did myself a service too, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I have not seen those. And I don't really care to. I'm gonna be honest. But so that's for everybody watching, because I know the Alien fan base is. I don't really know about the Alien fan base much. I think a lot of people like Alien, but like they don't really have like a fan base in a way where like you like know them, like, you know, like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Franchises like that have like their own, like their fan base, but like this one, they're all kind of so different. That's kind of hard, I guess, because a lot of them are just so crazy and so different. And because it shows you what not to do. Yeah, that's true. I've seen a lot of bad movies. Trust me.
Me too.
Yeah, my fair share in one lifetime.
I've also seen a lot of bad movies for very revered franchises, and it's disheartening. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I've seen all the Friday the 13th. I've seen all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I've seen all the Halloweens. I'm good.
Yeah.
Once you've seen Freddy's Dead, you're okay. I think once you've seen Freddy's Dead, I think you get a pass for everything else. I think that is enough suffering for one.
Yeah.
That's so real.
Shout out Seed of Chucky, though. Everybody hates Seed of Chucky, says it's the worst Chucky movie. That movie is hilarious.
I loved it.
I'm glad you're with me. Seed of Chucky slaps.
It does.
It's hilarious. But
Low bar horror movies cannot go wrong most of the time. Like if you're a
unless
true
you're Freddy's
horror
dead.
fan, you're gonna watch the B list and B ranked movies and get what you need to get out of it.
Oh yeah, because I'm like, horror is already like a super disrespected genre. It's not winning prestige awards anywhere. No one's ranking this super high, and I don't think that's fair. But we're already
Yeah.
starting at like the bottom level when we're watching a horror movie because no one respects them. Like
At all.
like, I mean, when it comes to Friday the 13th, two of my favorite Friday the 13th movies are Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Low bar Friday the 13th
I mean,
movie.
Yes.
Jason X is great, and so is Jason Goes to Hell. And then you know what? At least they tried something different with those. And yeah, I mean, part 6 is my absolute favorite. But
Mhm.
Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X are horrible movies, but like they're two of my favorite in the Friday the 13th franchise. Sometimes they can be great, and then sometimes they can be like Freddy's Dead, where you're just like, what?
Yeah.
What is
Like,
happening?
what
in
am I
this-
watching?
Yeah, based on like what Darth Gorkorn was saying, like, yeah, a lot of this generation's directors they come off as lackluster a little bit because it's just like you get so many movies per year, and it's just like I only remember like my happiest moments with like 10 of them. This like 700 movies a year, and only 10 of them are like worth remembering. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
mean,
blame
it
the
is.
directors.
absolutely.
And I mean, so be ranked like the old Doll Man and Demonic Toys movies. I have not seen those, so I cannot comment. I don't know, but
Sharknado.
I like bad horror movies when they're also good at the same time. But yeah, Alien. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's a franchise, isn't it, guys?
It is.
it's a
Alien
franchise.
It's a franchise, but no. Fede Alvarez, I had excitement about because he directed the Evil Dead remake, which a lot of people love. Disclaimer. I don't love the Evil Dead remake. People hate on me for this. I don't love it. I don't love it. I think Evil Dead Part 2 is still the best in that franchise by far. Evil Dead Part 2, I think I've seen all the Evil Dead movies. I think the Evil Dead remake is the worst one. Said it, meant it. Don't kill me. But
which one? The one with like the female lead Evil Dead remake, or
well,
the one with like the mom?
Oh, that's like a I don't know what that. I don't know how to categorize Evil Dead Rise. It's kind of like I don't know what it's like a reboot. I don't know what that is, but
A reboot.
that's what we're gonna call it. But the Evil Dead remake, it just a lot of people love it because it's metal. I'm with you. Thank you, Darth Gorkorn. I love you for that. I love you. I don't know who you are, but I love you. Because like I get a lot of people love that movie, but like because they say it's like so metal because it's raining blood and like yeah, it's raining blood, but like I will say the setup for that movie is great about drug addiction and being in a cabin. That whole setup was great. It's just execution I did not care for. But Don't Breathe, his other film, I saw Don't Breathe in theaters with one of my good friends again when I was a senior in high school. And something about that movie I loved in theaters. And I loved Don't Breathe in theaters. So much so I bought it when it came out on Blu-ray, and I showed my sister, I showed my other friend. Like I was a huge Don't Breathe fan when it came out. Like that movie is so just twisted and weird and just like turkey baster is all I have to say. The turkey baster stuff. I was
Oh
just
man.
just for me, because like when I was a senior in high school, I was like, because when I grew up with like the classic horror movies more, like Freddy and well, they're not really classic. I guess you can call the Universal monsters would be the classics. But I think Freddy and stuff is classic in that way. I grew up more with like Predator and like Halloween. Predator and Halloween. Those were the ones I grew up with. I didn't get into Freddy until later, and so Don't Breathe. When I saw that in theaters, I was just like, this is the most crazy movie I've seen in my entire life. What is he doing with this turkey baster? Like, I was just like,
Yeah.
what is this movie? But like, I love it. It's so weird. And then, so I guess I can give Fede Alvarez some credit for kind of getting me more into the horror genre, because Don't Breathe is one of those first movies that got me more into the genre back in the day. God, I'm old. I said that back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that belonged to Fede Alvarez. So he has kind of a good like resume
good track
going
record
for him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw no, you can go.
No, it's okay. I'll let you finish your point.
Okay. My point's not great, but Don't Breathe was near perfect psychologically played with the environment. Had the pace been... Yeah, I agree with that. Darth Goricorn, you're coming in with the great comments. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Oh,
okay.
Fede Alvarez. When I saw, this is what happens on Jacob's Film Perspectives when you have a host that is obviously
the Antichrist.
The Antichrist.
Yeah,
what I am.
So focused on world domination, you couldn't focus on the movie review.
I'm Damien from The Omen. I am Damien from The Omen. I was born. I was in the first Omen earlier this year. I was in the first Omen. I didn't know if you guys knew that, but that was me coming out of that lady.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
Adam called it. Adam called it.
He did call it, but yeah. I don't know what I was pointing. Oh, I was saying this movie was in production. Like, I remember this movie after Alien Covenant. I saw Alien Covenant in theaters, and I think this movie is in production for like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many years, but it's been in production for a long time. So I'm finally glad to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, me and Isabella are getting quite a show every time your camera freezes.
Are you enjoying this?
Yeah.
Are you entertained?
I am very entertained.
My Wi-Fi is perfect, so I don't know why this is doing this to me. Why are you doing this to me?
When people turned in and they see your eyes closed and your mouth open, they're like, "This dude is definitely stoned."
We are creating actually our own horror movie as we speak.
At least if you can hear me, that's all that matters.
The audio is good. It is coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're just gonna let it sit then.
This is a great audio and visual experience.
Let that image sit for you guys. I hope you guys dream of that. Please. I hope you.
We're gonna add this to the blooper reels.
You should screenshot that and put it as your lock screen. I don't know. Dream of me, people. I'm a beautiful man, I know. But anyway, back to the point I was trying to make. If there was ever a point in anything I ever say, yeah, this movie was in like production for like 6 or 7 years, and like it had like I want to say Neil Blomkamp was going to do a series at one point, and then he got off of it, and then I saw Fede Alvarez attached to Alien, and immediately I was like, oh, I'm sold. That's all I needed to see was that.
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer sold me, and then Kaylee Spaney, I love. Shout out to her. She was in Priscilla, and then she was Priscilla Presley in the A24 film with Jacob Elordi. She was great in that, and then she was also in Civil War at A24 that came out recently.
She was. Isn't she from The Fault in Our Stars too? Or that's somebody else?
Are you thinking of Shailene Woodley?
Yeah, that's Shailene Woodley.
Oh,
yeah. She's The Fault in Our Stars, and she's also Triss in Divergent.
That's yep. I don't know how I mixed those two up.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Shailene.
Shailene Woodley, you know what? That's my lady, but she's great too. But yeah. So anyway, Kaylee Spaney is great in this film.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She sure is.
Yeah, I love your reboot Quill line.
I want to use that.
I also want to use that. I'm a fan.
That's what it is. It's Evil Dead Rise is a reboot. That's my new thing.
Uh-huh.
Put that
I
on
like
the
that.
Blu-ray. Put that on the Blu-ray, people. Jacob's Film Perspective. This is a great reboot.
Buku.
Yeah, I appreciated that Alien Romulus was not a reboot. I will take a fan fiction in the universe over
Please.
a reboot any day.
Please.
But yeah, people were saying, like, I guess to get into this movie, because you guys can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we still got that beautiful face frozen up there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because my computer's tripping out right now. But anyway,
Ooh.
thank you, Apple. But anyway, Steve Jobs didn't die for this, but anyway, Steve Jobs, I don't know. Anyway,
Michael Fassbender, are you here?
that's a great movie, by the way. Shout out,
It's a great
shout out,
movie.
shout out the movie Steve Jobs. That's what it's called, Steve Jobs. Great movie. I love that movie. But yeah, Alien Romulus. I gotta say this first because I feel like people will talk about it. There's some debate over this movie, talking about how it is basically a fan film, a glorified fan film, and what else? I've been kind of tracking this online. It's a glorified fan film, and they do some things. They do bring back a character from the original Alien that is kind of that kind of took me out of it. And some people are really upset with this movie for doing that and for also being too much like the original. But for me, and I guess we'll talk about this, but for me, besides the deep fake CGI look, I could have done without that. Besides that, I think it is a tasteful, not retelling, but a tasteful, another journey in the Alien universe. Like it has a connective tissue. Yeah, it could have. Some people are saying it could have been another android. It didn't have to be that Ian Holm, his character. It didn't have to be him. It didn't have to be Ash. And yeah, that's a little forced. But a lot of people are up in arms about it. But I don't think it's that. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It didn't bother my viewing experience. When is it Andy? When he says, "Get away from her, you bitch," that kind of threw me off because I was like,
I laughed.
He would
crazy callback to the old movies.
Yeah, he wouldn't know that from the movie Aliens. He wouldn't know Ripley said that. Was kind of a weird thing. But those were my only issues with the film. And a lot of people are like, I just actually watched a review before this podcast because I was trying to see some people's takes on it. And one of my favorite YouTube channels, Red Letter Media, they basically dogged this movie, saying it started out as one of the best movies of the year, and then it ended into one of the worst because it gave into like fan service, and it felt like the Disney Star Wars with bringing back old characters and all that. And I think that's an over-exaggeration. I really don't think that about this movie.
I call that a reach.
I appreciate that you think that. So I just want to know what you guys thought about that aspect of the movie. Like, did you think it was too much ripping off, or like trying to be like not Disney Star Wars, but acting like Disney Star Wars does, where it rips off old characters and tries to bring back stuff and like all that?
I'm curious to think, like, what was the plot hole that Word 789 was talking about? Did y'all notice a plot hole in Alien and Romulus?
I did not.
I couldn't find anything. I was just locked in.
When I first watched it, there were things I had questions about. I am curious what the plot hole they're referencing is, though.
Yeah, I sat through the movie and it was just like everything just made sense to me from start to finish. This movie is kind of like a love letter to Aliens fans, to be honest. Fede Alvarez put so much attention to detail into it. It felt like you were on like a ride at like Universal Studios and you're like on the journey with them, because he just like takes his time with the pacing. You get to understand that they're out in outer space. You get to see all the beautiful stuff going on in the background, and each character you got to know them, so you don't like they aren't just straight up alien fodder. So it's like these people have like a story, they have an ambition, and they have a reason to survive. And that's like the formula for like a movie to either traumatize you or at least make you understand what's going on. So I really appreciated the consistency with that and the continuity with the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. My Wi-Fi is being janky again, so I was making sure. Okay, go on.
Me? Okay. Oh no!
And then there he goes. We lost him again. Oh, man, his computer is giving him so much trouble tonight.
I feel so bad. I mean, yeah, I agree with everything that has been said. I appreciated that this was more of like just kind of a fan fiction piece and standalone. I think we often run into trouble with things that are meant to be franchise continuations because we add things in and it's like this undoes a different plot line. Like what are we doing?
Right.
I appreciate that this one really didn't touch anything as far as like the regular plot that we're used to with the Alien franchise. I also thought that as far as like watching it had some really great moments.
It really did.
The performances were really, really strong. The practical effects were amazing.
So good.
And this one also kind of had a thing that was, I'm going to say it was similar to Trap, but not in any real sense other than it had a lot of acts to it. Like, right when I thought we were coming up on the ending of the story, something else would happen. And I was like, oh no, we have more plot that's about to happen. Like when Kay injects the serum into her neck, I was like, no, I thought this was our getaway. And this was like 20 minutes from wrapping. But things just kind of kept happening where I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we have another storyline we're going to finish. Oh, cool. Everyone is going to die. Okay, fun. Got it.
No
I'm
survivors.
with you. Yeah, and I actually enjoyed the whole like science plot that they had of it's actually a lab that they infiltrated and they were collecting the DNA set for it.
Yeah, like
I think she injects herself because she was bleeding out and she was pregnant, so she's trying to save her baby. And based off of like what we know about the serum,
bad decision.
Yeah. It was a bad decision, but like the whole idea was that it was going to make her stronger and it was going to heal her faster. So I can understand that.
Yeah, the consequences for that definitely taught her the ultimate price and lesson in the end. But
oh, absolutely.
But at least the baby was alive and he was very hungry.
I was really not expecting that to be where the story was gonna end up when we reveal that Kay is pregnant.
Yeah,
that was a horrifying sequence.
When it comes to pregnant women in alien movies, there's always going to be a disaster on the way. I'm learning that lesson.
Oh
thoroughly.
My gosh! And watching her give birth to like the pod. Whew.
Gross.
Baby Morph did go off. Thank you, Word 78. Like, yes.
Yeah, Baby Morph was like, I don't have anything else to eat, so I'm gonna eat Mama.
That creature was terrifying.
Nightmare fuel.
That was nightmare fuel. I was not anticipating that. I mean, I knew it was going to be like a rapidly growing half alien, half baby hybrid creature. I think it's being called the Offspring in reviews right now.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, people are just calling it the Offspring.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. I have to say, I never want to see that thing ever.
Ever
It was
again.
terrifying.
I
and
tell
the
people,
jump scares they had with it. Oh my gosh.
My God.
When it flies at her when she's like still connected.
I was like, whoa. That was probably one of my top scariest moments in 2024 for sure.
Me too. Yeah, I visibly like jumped in the theater. I was so glad I had like the IMAX seat with me hiding behind like you can't tell this from like looking at me on the screen, but I am very short. So sitting in that chair when that happened, I shot up several inches. It got me. I wasn't anticipating it.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're expecting you to
like
take
I said,
off
I
out
did
that
see
auditorium.
this at like 10:45 a.m. and I was still waking up like
Right? And it's so dark in that theater, so you feel like it's nighttime. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
oh my
But
god.
no. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I was very impressed by what it did, and it definitely like it did all of the things that I needed it to do as a fan of the original franchise. Like we got to see the Xenomorphs. We got a new version of it.
Oof.
And I actually enjoyed all of the characters, and that doesn't happen very frequently. I was kind of sad they started dying so soon into the film because I was like, oh, I was kind of a little invested in like where your plot was going.
Yeah.
And honestly, like that might be my only critique for this film is I did feel like we got a lot of exposition incredibly fast in like the first 30 minutes of the film of like, why do we care about you? What are you doing? Why are we about to embark on this mission? Like
Exactly.
yeah,
Like,
it was a lot of info dumping right at that top of the film, but it ended up going into a more normal pace after we finally launch off that planet.
yeah, I enjoyed the bonding with the characters part because it's just like there's one character in particular that you probably hate him because he was such a total douchebag towards the synth person, and it's just like, ugh. That's the product of good writing. You're gonna love a character, you're gonna hate one too. So
yeah, and then we had the really fun like subplot of the androids.
Yeah, I was like,
and,
man,
like, the moral ambiguity of robots.
Right? It is my assignment. I stick a chip in the back of my head.
I literally wrote in my notes, I went, okay, iRobot, that's fun. We got a little Asimov action in there.
A real quick shout out to Ryan Swayze. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
We've been going in on Alien Romulus for quite some time.
No, it was
Such
a good time.
Such a good movie. Waiting on Jacob to come back so he can put his closing thoughts on it.
I know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I feel so bad. It's Wi-Fi.
Right? Like we're getting through like the bulk of the review for this movie already, and it's just like, he's gone.
Oh, I will also talk about the fact that we have a space ballet. When the anti-gravity hits when they first enter the ship. Oh my gosh.
My
we were really milking that moment for all it was worth.
Yeah, that space ballet was something else. Oh my god.
It's a very technical term, space ballet.
Yeah, they had to like be very careful with the xenomorphs too, because it was just like you shoot them and their acid blood burns a hole in the ship. We're all screwed.
Yeah, I actually want to talk a little bit about the plot hole Herd789 has in the comments. It says the plot hole is when they shoot the alien in the elevator shaft. The gravity is back on, but the acid blood leaking and making a vacuum hole suddenly doesn't matter. I remember that moment, and I also was kind of wondering, like, is this actually important, or is this just to like create higher stakes that we're never actually going to circle back to?
Right.
Because it definitely it adds to the suspense, but it's also in the elevator shaft for the other whatchamacallit, the spaceship. What's it called?
The one that they came in, or the Remus.
Yes,
so Romulus
there we
and Remus.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually affecting their shuttle. It's on the base, and then they escape. But I do understand that, yeah, it would affect the elevator physically.
I was like, it's okay. Don't explain that part. Just let me.
There were a couple of moments. Like, honestly, yes, the biggest plot hole in this film is the alien acid blood. Because there's several moments where, yeah, it like starts eating through everything and then suddenly stops. Like there's the moment where it starts like leaking onto the grate where they're all standing, and presumably it leaks through the rest of the ship, because that's kind of the point. Like the acid blood, like it eats through everything, and none of these ships have any defenses against it.
None.
And yet these aliens are leaking blood everywhere, and there's no holes except the plot.
I don't. The way that she defeated them, I gave her points because it was just total badass. She solved the problem. She had on many occasions where she just figured shit out, and I was like, "Damn, she is smart." And if she had, when it comes to fight or flight, she fought her ass off. I would have given up as soon as I seen the first xenomorph. Like, nope, I'm not gonna run. I'm too old and out of shape for this shit. Eat me. I'm good.
Literally.
I'm cool on that. Like she was willing to like climb up through and climb around acid just to get to the other end of the shaft, and it was like, why would you do all that to survive? But
that was the other really cool thing, was just how much they played with the gravity and anti-gravity in the film. I thought those shots were really well done.
Very well done. You just have a synth that's basically he's invincible against almost everything but the acid, and he didn't take action until like the very end where he got to save her from one of the xenomorphs that got through. Yeah.
No, that's one of the things that I think this film did really well. Oh my gosh, you're back!
Welcome back.
I'm alive. I've been resurrected from the dead.
We back.
What I miss?
About to do is switcheroo.
What I miss, fellas?
You missed a lot. There was a lot of really integral discussion happening. I'm really sorry.
I was gone for 10 minutes.
That's a lot of time.
It sure is. Especially in the podcasting and streaming world.
From a point of view, genuinely. I'm reading the comments right now. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What else do I have to say about this movie? Characters, loved them. I am interested to see like what's the monstrous femininity thing that's supposed to be happening in the Alien Romulus movie. I do wish to hear what people think about that aspect of it.
Yeah. It's like,
I think, yeah.
Huh?
What's happening here?
Something about monstrous femininity.
Monstrous femininity.
That is the Barbara Creed thing I mentioned earlier.
Interesting.
I can make like assumptions as to like how you could really dissect that within this film specifically. Honestly, I just wanted to say something about like the fact that I thought they did the suspense really well. Like the timing for like you have a set amount of time to get this one activity done before all hell breaks loose. Like that was really well done. This film. I enjoyed that. But yeah.
I really liked the ticking clock aspect of this movie. Quite a bit. Yeah.
What was the character's name? Something Carradine. Katie's character's name.
Kay.
Was it Kay?
Or Kay is the girl who's pregnant.
Yeah, the pregnant girl, and played by Isabella Merced, and then Spady, or I'll never get her name.
Kaylee Spaney.
Kaylee Spady. She
Rain.
plays. I do not know her character's name. Romulus. Rain. Yes, thank you, Rain Carradine. I would compare her to Sigourney Weaver's role in the Alien movies. Like she was just that badass. I really appreciate the fact that she could hold her own with the xenomorphs. And she just had so much compassion for the synths and just everybody around her. She didn't want the pregnant girl to die. So she got into it with her synth brother over whether or not to save her. So it's just like so much going on, and it all makes sense.
Gotcha.
Great
See,
character.
I don't think I can compare anybody to Sigourney Weaver, unfortunately.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
But I did enjoy her. Yes, I did enjoy
Mhm.
her as Rain.
Did you guys talk about the I forgot, what was your answer to my question that I asked about the Disney Star Wars stuff? Where people were saying that it was kind of egregious with the Ian Holm character
Oh.
and some of the old callbacks.
I have to say, and like this is probably a sad and dejected answer to that question, but I feel like I have seen it done so poorly so many times that this one did not faze me.
I agree with this.
Like my bar is unfortunately really low at this point with the reboot quills, as you put it. So, I didn't mind this one. I like it didn't cause a lot of damage or anything to like my original construction of the characters or anything.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Like it didn't even like it affected my grade of it a little bit just because it was kind of distracting CGI.
Yeah.
The Ian Holm character, and then some of it was a little too over the top. But it didn't overall take away from my experience of the film. And like for me, this was, I haven't seen Cuckoo obviously, but for me, this was the scariest movie of the year for me. Like it was the most tense and actually scared I've been in a theater, and that's rare to, because I don't get scared by a lot of things, but something about those little face huggers running around and the way they just impregnate you, basically, it's just like, man, I don't like just those little things running around, just absolutely terrifying. And then that abomination of whatever that the human alien thingy was.
Yeah.
The Offspring.
The Offspring.
The Offspring. Oh my God. I was just like, a lot of people, he definitely, that's what I like about Fede Alvarez. When he goes for it with like Don't Breathe, obviously. We talked about the turkey baster, and then Evil Dead with the blood rain and the chainsaw and all that. And he definitely went for it in that third act. He definitely took a gigantic swing with having a baby human alien. And I mean, apparently they've done that before in the franchise with Alien Resurrection. I've known about that.
Yeah.
There's a human alien baby in Alien Resurrection. So he actually is taking from a previous Alien movie with that. And he kind of made it look like one of the Prometheus beings, one of the beings from the higher ups from Prometheus. So that may have been a little, I don't know, derivative, but when I watched it, I was just like, okay, we're going there. I was like, if we're gonna go there, let's go there. And like he went all the way.
Yeah, he did.
I loved how he didn't hold anything back. He just went all the way with it and was like, screw it, we're gonna have a human baby alien mix. And to put it in the actress that I've come to love was just like made it even worse, because it was like terrible seeing her being in just that whole sequence. It was just just the whole birthing sequence. I was just like, man, this fucking sucks. Like, I wish I could, like, man, like, because she plays such a good, like, in that movie, plays like an innocent character. So it's kind of, watching innocence kind of be messed up.
Violated, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like a violation. And it's just rough to watch.
It really is. And she did it to herself unknowingly, which was really, really sad. But it was a good gesture to save her baby.
I also love how David Johnson is his name, the guy that played Andy. He's in a movie called Rye Lane on Hulu. That is actually a very underrated movie that everybody should watch. It's a good romantic comedy, and it was this was my second movie of his I've seen, and the way he went from like I won't say slow, but like a simple android to like a highly intelligent person, the way he had to snap back and forth and like he went back and forth with that was just like superb acting by him.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He might have been the best in the movie for me. And Kaylee Spaney was great. And the more I think about it, really, I mean, her character, it's kind of base level, but you didn't need more than that, really. I mean, and they do the thing, they do put her in like she's like she's trying to go to, what is it? What is that word? When they go in the tube for years.
Cryo?
Yeah.
When she goes into that and they have her like in the little cryo sleep pajamas like Sigourney Weaver, except hers is a lot less revealing than Sigourney Weaver's if you've seen Alien. So like, which is good, obviously, probably for
it's a service for somebody.
For today's times, it's probably good that they kept it more PG with what she was wearing, but because Sigourney Weaver just hanging out there in the first movie, it's just like, what? It's like, girl. So like, in this one, it was more toned down, but like, obviously that was a callback to Alien. Her going into it's cryo sleep, yeah. And or what you think is, and just like, I don't know. I still keep thinking about the baby alien human thingy.
Yep.
It's still in my mind. Like I've seen it over a week ago, and it's still there.
I keep also referring to it as like a thingy.
While
you were gone, we did talk about it, and I said basically the same thing you just said in describing it.
Legit.
It's just a thingy.
Yeah. I got a lot of satisfaction out of watching these characters have no idea what the alien was. Like genuinely believing their friend was still safe. Like I was like, I feel like I've been here, done that, but I'm really enjoying the fact they have no idea what's coming.
Oh my god.
I loved how because for me, I think the face huggers they're scarier to me than the actual xenomorph is to me anyway. Like I'd rather run into a xenomorph than a face hugger. I'm not.
Agreed.
I don't want anything being put down my throat and in my chest. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line. But
yeah, man, get consent before you do that.
Yeah,
damn it. Like
there's which alien has always had those sexual undertones. Obviously, there's sexual undertones there.
Yeah.
I mean, even the original designs for Alien is by H.R. Geiger, and he's even quoted as knowingly putting sexual symbols into the original Alien. So like it's there, and even in this movie there is quite a few suggestive things, like when the one xenomorph is coming out of something, it looks like something, and it looks like it's being birthed literally out of its little egg, but it's shaped in a way. I'll just say it's shaped in a way. I'm not gonna say
my god.
We're gonna keep it PG, but
I mean, yeah, the Alien franchise, as far as like a lot of like the scholarly articles I've read regarding that franchise, it is just full of like birthing imagery, and that's kind of why like within the Monstrous Feminine it is known as the archaic mother.
Yeah.
Because like this is an ancient species that is continuously reproducing at a rapid rate, and so I think it's interesting having the human involvement with that process.
Yeah.
This was like a surrogate alien mom.
Oof. Oh man.
Yeah. And this is like a completely new species. Like the fact that none of us have a term for it, and like even in articles about the movie they're referring to it as the offspring. Like
oh man, they can call it what they want. Just don't stick that thing in a room with me.
Yeah.
Like it's terrifying. Like I said, it's the most it's definitely for me it's this most horror that I've gotten out of a horror movie this year.
Yeah.
It was right there. It was The First Omen for me. It's right there with The First Omen. The First Omen is right there too. I love The First Omen.
So
but
good.
like obviously because I was in the first Omen, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But like this just barely takes the cake for me, just because like there at the end, the last act, I was just the whole time I was like, oh, what the fuck, like what's going on? Oh my god, like what, like, and like I've seen a lot of messed up things in movies, and so it takes a lot to rattle me and kind of like get under my skin, but something about it just got under my skin, and then it was just like,
Oh yeah.
watching that. And then I loved the whole face huggers when, like, like when they're being like basically defrosted in the water. That whole water sequence is when they're being defrosted, and like as a viewer that like, oh crap, but like
They're screwed.
just seeing them acting like nothing's happening, and it just like Bella said earlier, like enjoying them not knowing about the alien, and just enjoying watching them because like they're just in the water and they don't understand that like, oh, if this thing gets in on you, it's going to impregnate you with a xenomorph. Like you're gonna have a xenomorph come out of your chest. Like so just the tension of seeing it slowly being defrosted, and then because it keeps cutting back and they're slowly coming back to life. It's kind of adds to that ticking clock element already added. And it's just like, man. And like the whole scene with Andy and the guy, I don't know the guy's name, the guy she likes, that Kaylee Spaney's character likes.
Oh, what is his name?
Oh.
I remember him from Shadow and Bone. I absolutely love him on Shadow and Bone. But
yeah, I don't know his real name.
I don't remember his name.
But whatever he was, that whole scene when they had to like basically not have goosebumps or show any emotion because like the face huggers will sense it. Like that was one of the best sequences of the year, I think, in terms of just like setup, tension, and everything. And then I just love when I think that's when she gets they get over on the call that something's happening. I think I'm trying to remember it precisely, but like it's like he gets over the call, something comes over the call, and like it starts to cause him to be worried and sweat, and then Andy's just like run.
It's because it's Kay and she's trying to figure out how to get to them.
Yeah.
Because the xenomorph gets into the shuttle, and so she's trying to escape and she can't find the key.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. See?
I just Googled it. The character's name is Tyler. He's played by Archie Renaud.
There we go. I know his name somewhere in the recesses of my mind.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Great character. Great character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great character. So much about him. He's so well developed. But but like the whole scene with like the goosebumps, and then Andy's just like run, and then they're just like having to go, and just like when I love when she's like on the other side of the door, Kay is, and the xenomorph's coming, and then Andy's just not opening the door whatsoever. And like her brother's there and her friend's there, and he's just like not opening the door. And just like I love that whole sequence too.
Yeah.
It's like what's gonna come, and you're like, oh crap.
You would think Tyler would be mad at him.
I will say the one thing I kept getting irritated by was how much all of the characters wanted Andy to be left behind. I was like, can we stop hating on the android? Androids do dream of electric sheep. No, this is wrong. He has done nothing to you. He's a great friend and companion for Rain. Like, why are we hating on Andy so much, everybody?
Why?
And I don't mean that like in the rest of the world. I just mean within her friend group as they're trying to embark on this mission. Like all of them are like, you have to leave him behind. And she's like, I didn't tell him. I'm like, why do you have to leave him behind? No.
What is going on?
He's your brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really appreciate like that whole scene, and then just when it's just like a whole bunch of the xenomorphs there at the end with the elevator sequence. Just that was just absolutely great too. And when I talk about like, talk about like, I mean, on this podcast at least, we talked about like bad CGI and just like use practical horror, use practical. Like we really try to preach that on this podcast. And like this movie, a lot of it was practical. Like there was a guy in a xenomorph suit. There was a guy in the thingy suit. There was whatever it's called.
The Offspring.
Offspring. Yes.
There's a guy in the, like there's somebody, that was somebody. Like for most of those shots, that was a real person dressed up as that. And like in a suit and like makeup and effects and like that weren't visual, like digital. And just the fact that Fede Alvarez went back and he used like they used practical like face huggers a lot of the time, and like the fact that he dedicated the time and the effort into the production design and the practical effects, like really the production design team, the effects team really deserve a lot of credit for this movie. Yeah. And even if you don't like the movie and you don't like the callbacks and you don't like how they brought back Ian Holmes' character, and you don't like all that, I think everybody can agree on that it has like the best. I was having a seizure there. Apparently, everybody can agree on that the effects were just top notch, like
stunning.
I loved. It just was nice seeing practical effects in my horror movie. Like I missed that.
Agreed.
And it was just nice seeing that back.
Absolutely. I also love, like, as far as consistency goes, like every Alien movie has one thing in common. The xenomorphs are so terrible that the survival rate for almost every cast is always 1 or 2 people. I think at the most, like whenever there's a xenomorph invasion or whatever, the most you'll probably get is like 5 survivors. But this movie stayed true to it. And it was just like, one synth and 1 human survived this, and everybody else got slaughtered. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I thought I was hoping because like when the xenomorph takes Kay and then like you figure out she's still alive or whatever, I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna do a trope, and then I was like, oh no, the baby alien. I was like, oh no. Because like she would have been safe. She didn't have to inject the thing. Like we knew as audience, she didn't know that, but as audiences, we knew that like so it almost made it more tragic that she did it even when she didn't have to. Like they made it where like she thought she was gonna die. So I guess in that situation, I mean, obviously you're gonna do anything to live, probably, and then we see what happens with that. And apparently that black goo, like whatever that is, the black goo that's in the thing. Apparently that's from Prometheus. Like I saw people connecting those 2 dots where like apparently in Prometheus they use some kind of black matter, and they call it like the new formula or something in that movie. I forgot what it's called, but apparently that could be. Some people are speculating that's the same type of stuff, and that's why it looks like. That's why the baby looks like one of the Prometheus aliens that are in Prometheus. One of the higher beings in Prometheus is because of that. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen Prometheus. I've just seen that connection a lot lately.
Got you. Like the thing she injected herself with is the black matter.
Yeah. It's apparently the same black matter the higher beings used to create life in Prometheus. I don't know.
Got
and also, Ridley Scott produced this. So, I mean, he obviously had a hand in it, and, he went crazy with the Prometheus aspect. He wanted to take Alien from just Alien, a horror movie, and then it gets to like what's the meaning of life? Where do we come from? That's what Prometheus basically is, from what I understand from the things I've read about it. So like him producing this, maybe that could have been the case. That black matter being the same, maybe that was his idea. I don't know, but like it was just. But watching it without that knowledge, I didn't really like. It was overall, this movie was just great. Like the more I think about it, I'm just like, damn, that was a good movie. Like, I don't care what the haters say. I don't care what the hipsters say.
Right.
Not the hipsters.
It does feel like a high budget fan film at times. But for me, I'm a fan, so I like it. And
on
I feel
a
like
scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys give it?
I have my grade, but I'm saving it.
I'll give it a 7.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's my history of alien bias. I'm gonna give it a 8.5. Mm-hmm.
I like it.
The two dudes I saw it with, that sounded really weird. Like I just saw it with two strangers. Like it's two dudes. Yeah, just two guys. You know, we just saw aliens. I walked up to these two strange guys. No, my two friends I saw it with, one gave it like a B+, one an A-, because we do grades, like school grades. And for me, I was higher than all of them. I gave this movie an A.
Nice.
4.5 out of 5 for me on Letterboxd.
Hey.
Like besides, so I guess that would equal like a 9 out of 10. If you're going out of 10, that'd be about a 9 out of 10. So like, my only issue again was the deep fake CGI that I could have done without, and some of the callbacks were a little cheesy. But I just had a great time at the theater. I thought it was a perfectly executed sci-fi horror film. Like it was sleek, went by fast, great pacing, practical effects, which is rare. It went hardcore in the third act, and it didn't try to be censored or anything. It just went for it, and for me, it worked. I know some people will be turned off by that. I've read some people said they liked it up until the twist, little third act happens, but like for me, it worked.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Because like, what are you gonna do with an alien? Because like, we've already seen it. Like, Alien already perfected what it was doing. Aliens already perfected what it was doing. They had to do something like that, or it would have been, people would have been complaining, oh, it's just the same. And I've even seen that complaint too. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is just like a same copy of the original Alien.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
people not understand that directors can make love letter movies to the fandom.
Yes.
Yes. As the great Flick Pick said, YouTuber I watch, he always says, I'm a fan, so service me.
Yeah.
That's what they did, I feel like.
That's all he was trying to do. That's all he was trying to do.
I felt like a guy who loved the Alien franchise, and he made his own, what he wanted to make out of it, with all the blood and practical effects.
Yeah. Feeding you were one badass man.
I'm excited to see what he does next.
Oh yeah. I have to say, that birth scene, whew, it took it out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like exhausted.
I was just
like we all gave birth to while watching that scene.
Yeah.
I had what they call a phantom birth. So. In the theater, I was having a phantom birth.
Yeah. It's just like Rain shows up and she turns her back for 1 minute, and she turns back around and the offspring is already eating his mom, and it's just like, oh, she didn't make it.
Yeah, part of what made that so terrifying was how fast it grew up.
Yeah.
Really
fast.
Know what? And you know what? A lot of people, I say a lot of people, my two friends said that it kind of looked like me. And you know what? I kind of agree with that.
Wow.
And that's how you know they're friends.
Yeah. They're like, that looks like you, Jacob. And I'm like, it hurts, but I get it.
Yeah. Roasting is a rite of passage, basically.
I get it.
Pretty much.
I'm like, you know what? I'm pale and tall. I get it. I'm a tall man. I get it.
But now this begs the question, though. Do you have a tail?
I wish I had a tail. I don't know what I could do with that.
That would be the real selling point.
How it could be functional. I guess it could hold, and be an extra arm to hold things.
Yeah, and you can just stab people when you get upset.
There you go.
That's true. But yeah, the baby, it's just like, oh. And she, like, I don't know. It just felt like a violation. It was just like, man, it felt like I was watching something I shouldn't be watching.
Mm-hmm.
Just less British. Somebody said, like Alien Romulus, just less British accents next time. Yeah. I will say the trailer. I've been to a lot of movies this year. The trailer played before a lot of the movies, and I got tired of hearing, "There's something in the water. There's something in the water.
There's something in the fucking water.
There's something in the fucking water." Like that. I will say that guy got on my nerves a little bit. He had that
Worst character.
He had that British accent where I was just like, you know what? I hope a facehugger gets you, boy, because like, shut up. Like,
he was one of the last to die.
In the water.
Just like.
Speaking of sexual images.
Woo.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I will say nothing more.
She's got a point. She's got a point. She made a great point.
That just went over my head. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm kind of scared. Something in the water. Well, I don't.
Just face huggers in the water.
Yeah.
You know, things for swimming.
Yeah. The swimmers, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
It finally clicked with me.
There was a whole lot of swimmers in that water. Oh,
I'm really sorry for that one.
I will never forget that.
You know what? And that man deserved every one of them in his mouth.
Yeah.
That British accent was terrible, man.
Yeah, it was. And he used his accent to be mean to people.
Yeah, and he was mean to Andy for no. Well, they set it up that his mom was killed by a android. So I mean, I get it, but like, why would you be mean to that one?
Yeah,
not all androids are bad.
Yeah,
not all androids are bad. NAAB. Not all androids are. No, that's 3 A's. NAAAD. Not all androids. NAB.
Mm-hmm. We won't stand for this discrimination against the android community.
It was just messed up. I was like, why y'all being mean? And then when he got all smart, I loved when there was one scene where like he used his strength against the guy, and I was like, yeah, you tell him what it is.
He was about to fall off into something, and he caught him.
He went to fall off, and he thought he was He thought he was doing something with him, but he just went to. He basically saved his life. And I was like, yeah, he saved your life, you idiot! Like, quit being mean to him.
He got exposed for who he really is. Like, yeah, we knew you were a pussy. We knew it.
Yeah. Worst character. I'm glad he died.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is one of the things I do enjoy about the Alien franchise. Justice is always served because everybody dies.
Everybody. The assholes and the people the assholes victims.
Yes.
God, man, xenomorphs are terrible.
Only a strong woman survives, usually.
Facts.
Right.
We love a final girl.
Hey.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now that begs a question. How good was Kaylee Spaney's final girl?
Ooh.
I love her as an actress. She's great in Priscilla in Civil War. But I feel like this movie wasn't so focused on the characters as much as the scares. So she didn't have a lot of material to work with. But what she was really good for what the movie called for, but she's definitely not a top final girl for sure. Or anywhere in there.
No, I can't say she ranks for me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
This is too soon.
I'm sorry, especially like I really wish you would sing Cuckoo because that was a final girl ranking.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited even more now.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. She didn't have enough screen time for me to be as invested in her arc as a final girl as I would have liked, because it was kind of a toss-up as to who was going to survive for me at several points.
Yeah.
And I just, she was badass. I appreciated all of the things that she did, but I'm sorry, you've got some stiff competition for final girl.
She does.
Yeah.
Like, what was okay? Now that we're kind of finishing up on this, what was your biggest issue with the film? Like, if you had to pick one thing, like, what was your biggest issue? I know we talked about a few issues here and there, but like, what was the one that like really, what kept it from being a 10 the most? Either one of you can go.
We'll let Your Highness do it.
I'm not your highness. You're the your highness. You were the one I was told was the king.
He is
So
the king.
yeah, but I appreciate it. I'll take
cute.
it. I talked about this, I think, a little bit while you were gone, but I think my biggest thing was just we got so much exposition at the top of this film that really didn't have a lot to do with any of the plot after we get to the other ship. Like, I did feel like there was an intense amount of info dumping just so we understood where we were in space and time with what became our ensemble for the film. And while I appreciated that, it wasn't my favorite. I was like, okay, cool. Can we just get to these xenomorphs? Like, I know where this is going. I don't necessarily need all of this. I appreciate how in-depth you want to go and the fact that we set up like the android discrimination plot early on. But that was really the only thing I needed to like understand things happening later on. Like, I didn't need the whole interaction with her where it was like, oh, you're actually going to be stuck here another so many years and stuff. Like, we could have fully just started with her going to visit her friends because she got a call from them. Like,
Yeah.
That was my thing. It raised the stakes for her character. Like, I understand why they did it, but yeah, that was really my only thing.
Yeah, they had a plan and that shit backfired so hard.
Exactly. Like we had all of this exposition and build up that we took up like 20 minutes at the top of the film for, and all of it goes away because we are suddenly back to this.
Back again.
Oh, what was that one plot hole? I disappeared before I figured it out. What was it?
Oh, it's the acid blood and how it starts burning a hole in the elevator shaft and then has no consequences. Like, we completely forgot about it. And there's a couple, we talked a little bit about how like there's a couple of moments in the film where the acid blood looks like it's about to cause some severe damage and then nothing comes of it.
I was like, what is going
Trying to
on?
think What about you, Deontay? What's your biggest issue?
My biggest complaint. What is it? Been pondering this for a long time because I could have given this movie a 10 out of 10 easily. I think maybe some of my biggest holdbacks with it is just that I if anything I would say Andy, because Andy's like such a valuable character to this story, and there's just moments where just like he has to be useless so that other characters can shine. So it's just like, why are you having a seizure now of all times when you have superhuman strength and the xenomorphs can't even detect you? Like, why aren't you standing up and swinging on these creatures in times like that? And it's just like, oh, she's got to save him again because he's on the floor having a seizure or a robo seizure, and it's like, what is going on? He's useful at the end to save the main character. So it's just like, wow. Now he picks up a gun. Now he shoots something, and that could have been tidied up a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
I see. Both valid points. Normally I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, they did. I do love the one sequence, probably my favorite sequence in the thing was when they turn off the gravity and the acid blood is in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all talked about that one, but
nope.
The acid blood in the air. So no way he's down somehow off screen. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I feel like that didn't really bother me. But
me neither.
Yeah,
it was my favorite. That was my favorite sequence was the acid blood when the gravity was off, and then she had to go through the acid blood. That was a sick, tense sequence where I was just like, oh, my hands were getting sweaty on that one. Like, yeah, like that was a good tense way to write a sequence. Like that was just a smart, inventive way to use the acid blood, I thought.
Yeah, that girl was motivated to live. She wanted to survive that shit no matter what. I was like, damn, girl, good for you. I would have died after the first face hugger came out.
I would have been the guy that died from I probably wouldn't even made it to the ship, honestly. Probably would have died on something would have happened to me hilarious. But like Yeah, I'm definitely not a final girl, but I think my biggest issue with the movie was what I already said, was the sometimes it got a little too fan servicey for me, and I could take the deep fake Ian Holm out of the situation, and it would have been better. And you could have maybe not called back so many times. But other than that, yeah, I mean, that's my only real issue. Yeah, I thought that was a really well-written scene, probably my favorite sequence of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I didn't realize how many people were actually kind of down on this movie, because it's like, oh, it's just like the original Alien, or oh, they're calling back. And I was just like, that it just kind of, it didn't bother me when I watched it in theaters. Maybe on second watch it would bother me, but on the watch I had in the theaters, I thought it didn't really, I mean, it bothered me a little bit. Obviously, it's my biggest issue, but like it wasn't where it was like hindering what the movie was. Right. For me, anyway.
Some people are just a little bit too critical on movies sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have their own opinions, obviously. And I guess there are alien purists out there.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind, but how does it have two endings? Final ending with Baby Morph is just a derivative of Alien 1 ending.
That makes sense. Like Fede Alvarez is, like, in interviews, like a huge Alien fan. So I chalk everything up to callbacks. Like, he's just paying homage to everything he's seen in this movie. I wouldn't accuse him of copying by any means, but he definitely gave a shout out to the OG movies. That's the best way to assume it.
Yeah, my best way to sum up this is, it's a love letter to the alien and aliens, but it does its own thing enough. It has its own creative, unique ideas and sequences to stand on its own and be a great horror ride with just a few too many annoying callbacks. But other than that, a great horror experience. That'd probably be like my little, if I was on Rotten Tomatoes, that'd be my little blurb.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I got to announce I'm a certified movie critic now, peoples.
Hey, let's go.
It's for an up-and-coming app, but it's still a certified movie critic, so I'm going to take that to the bank. Mama, I made it. I mean, your son was something. But yeah, check out the Recabee app. It's actually pretty cool. It's kind of like Letterboxd, but it has like an AI interface with it that helps recommend movies to you. Like, you mark what movies you've seen, and it'll kind of take that and it'll kind of recommend similar films to you from that. I think they're based out of India. They're a small company, I want to say, because they have a lot of Bollywood films on there. But like, it's a legit app, and it's cool. And they have like 20,000 something people on the app. It's not too small, but they messaged me wanting to collaborate and work with me. And I was like, okay, nice. I'll take it. You make me certified, I'll do anything.
Hell yeah, you're official now, man.
Look at you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you gotta beef up your social media presence now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to be more. I need to be on it more. I haven't done my reviews. Like, I need to do more written reviews, I guess. But yeah, that's Alien Romulus.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody have anything else they want to say about Alien Romulus?
I got everything off my chest.
I think I did too.
I thought it was, great film. We all liked it. It was me and Deontay's favorite out of the two.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see Cuckoo, but when we see Cuckoo, it'll probably either be there with it or maybe overtake it. Who knows?
Yeah, when I get back home from Nashville, I'm going to try to find it on a streaming service and watch it.
And you may hate it. I may be alone in this corner, but
I trust your judgment. I
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Overall,
you can name your podcast after Wes Craven. I know you got good taste.
Thank you. I'm flattered.
That is true. I agree with that. I have nothing original to say, so I'm just going to agree with what he said. It didn't impact the vote.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My internet went out and I disappeared for a while. But yeah, that's what I went.
Absolutely, man.
Word 789. You're just coming with the good comments. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, you should give yourself a pat on the back tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Major salute.
Oh yeah.
You get my recommendation as a certified movie critic. And you get my recommendation. That means something, okay?
Yes, sir.
It does because you're certified.
Stamp.
Did you guys know that I was certified? I just wanted to reiterate the certification.
Yeah. Talk your shit then.
That feels like the Kronk line about Cusco's poison or whatever.
Well, thank you, Word 789. You fine gentleman or fine lady, whatever you are. I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't want to make too many crazy assumptions on this.
Yeah.
Show.
Whoever you are, you're a beautiful human being, and I want you to have a nice, beautiful week and weekend, and I hope you get everything you want in life. I don't know. That's going to be my new thing. To everybody that drops a sub and likes, you get a nice little saying from me that you can clip and you can play every night when you go to sleep. And it can be like I'm talking you to sleep.
ASMR.
You know, now that you're a certified movie critic, you should like actually create your own like tag.
Certified.
Like a catchphrase or something, you know.
You give me more credit than I deserve, because like I don't have the inventive mind to come up with a catchphrase that isn't already used. I could say it's Jacob time or something. I don't.
Oh God, no, not that.
We'll put some time into it. You don't have to make one on the spot.
This was not a spontaneous thing.
Get Jacob-fied. There you go.
Sometimes slow cookers are better than just frying stuff immediately.
I'm gonna take Deontay's side on this one.
You know what? I'll find it. I'll find it in my heart. It'll come to me.
This announcement.
I'm just gonna make a gigantic announcement of, hey guys, I got a new phrase.
I like it.
But yeah, I mean, what else do we got coming up, Deontay, for Jacob's Film Perspectives?
I would say like there's a whole bunch of movies rolling out in September, so we'll probably be back. I know for a fact that Saturday Night Nerds is going to do something for Beetlejuice 2, so I'm looking forward to Beetlejuice, and I don't know if SNN is going to do it or JFP is going to do it, but either way, I'm going to be there for it because I'm a day one Beetlejuice fan, and got to see Michael Keaton again.
Oh yeah,
Beetlejuice. Grew up on it, and then you add my homegirl Jenna Ortega. Yes,
hey.
Please.
Yes.
And Winona Ryder too.
Winona Ryder's always great.
Mm-hmm.
We have to call out Catherine O'Hara as well.
Catherine O'Hara. I'm hyped for Beetlejuice. If SNN isn't doing it, I'll definitely do it for sure. I'll definitely take it off your guys' hands if you want me to, because I am a Beetlejuice. I grew up watching the crap out of that movie, so I am so excited for Beetlejuice. Oh, you said it. Nothing happened.
He's in the hotel with me right now.
Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Tell him I said hi.
I most definitely will.
Get his autograph for me. I could sell it on eBay.
I wonder, do you think he'll sign it Beetlejuice or Michael Keaton?
I'll take both.
Tell him I'm Jenna Ortega's biggest fan.
Oh.
Then he'll just sign it as Jenna Ortega.
Yeah. He's done all sorts of stuff like shape shifting, so I imagine he could be Jenna for a day.
But yeah, we got Beetlejuice. I don't know if Jacob's Film Perspectives will be doing that. We'll have to see with the SNN network. I don't want to.
What else is in September? There's a bunch of stuff coming in September.
I know Gosh, my brain is drawing a blank. My brain does not work.
Are you guys doing the Wicked movie when that drops?
SNN won't do it, but if JFP wants to do Wicked, I will jump in for that.
Wicked? Huh. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
It looks good.
It looks terrible. But
What?
I like Ariana Grande. I like. I don't like the look of the witch. I don't like the green they used. It bothers me. It's too green or something. There's something off with the witch. I love that. I forgot the actress's name. She's good.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yes, she's a
Broadway
great.
royalty.
Yeah.
She's a great actress, but they just. You got to get the witch right, and they didn't get the witch right for me, so I'm not interested. I'm really not.
That's fair enough.
I strongly disagree, but I support you.
I'm with her on this one.
maybe Ariana Grande will make me want. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like Ariana Grande that much, honestly.
Oh,
I got you.
But I'm trying to think. I want to, because I feel bad because I always say I'm coming back and then I never do. I feel like an absent father to you. Everybody in the comments watching right now. Like I said, I feel like an absent father. I feel like the one that goes out for milk and never comes back. And then I come back every now and then to say hi to your mom. And then I leave
not
again.
pay child support.
And I don't pay the child support.
Yeah.
And I just feel terrible. And I feel like I'm just letting you guys down as a reviewer. Because, yeah. So I'm going to try to see and do more episodes. I promise. I'm looking at
whenever theater gets dry, we can always pull from like Netflix and Hulu releases too. So it's always something going
new
on.
films 2024 fall. Let's see what we got here real quick, fellas and ladies. Oh, Gladiator 2 is coming out sometime.
Oh, that's right.
That's supposed to be like December, I believe.
Oh,
I have the poster for it right here on my phone.
Gladiator 2 is definitely over. I definitely reviewing Gladiator 2.
November 22nd.
When?
November 22nd.
That'll be a Jacob's Film Perspectives episode. The first Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. Nosferatu around Christmas will be an episode by me. Robert Eggers, I'm there. There is some A24 coming out. Joker 2. I know you guys will be taking Joker 2.
Yep, October 4th.
I'm excited for Joker 2. I might have to join y'all for that.
Yes, please.
And then, I don't know if you guys will have seen the Terrifier movies.
I need to, because the Terrifier is coming to our local convention this November.
Yeah, I saw that. He'll be at the convention. And I'm doing a live podcast there, so...
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask him to come on, and he's gonna be like, "Give me $1,000," and I'm gonna be like, "Sir, I'm broke." And then
you give me $1,000 then.
That's gonna be the end. It's like I'm giving you publicity on Jacob's Film Perspectives. You're gonna be like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "I'm certified movie critic." That's why.
Oh my gosh! Milk that for everything it is worth.
Exactly.
I'm sassy and I know it. The Front Room. And
Wow.
Beetlejuice, both come out September 6th. The Front Room looks like a great A24 film with Brandy in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's supposed to be like Rosemary's Baby and Mother. People are saying similarities.
That is a fascinating combination of films.
Yeah.
I will say that. I'm looking. A lot of September movies. None that are really, besides Beetlejuice and The Front Room, September is looking a little dry for Jacob.
Yeah, there might be
some
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis. Francis Ford Coppola's new movie. I gotta watch that. I love The Godfather, so I have to. Both Godfathers. Not the third one. Forget the third one exists. I'm just kidding. The third one's actually a good movie. It's just not great. Joker 2, you guys are covering.
Mm-hmm. Anything like Marvel and DC, like that's going to be us.
Yeah. Saturday night, about the Saturday Night Live, October 11th. I'll be watching that. Terrifier 3 is October 11th. So we could do a Terrifier episode for Halloween. That would be a great Halloween episode, actually, is a Terrifier series.
Ooh, and
could do it
Halloween's
on-
just like right the weekend before the convention, so that'd be right on time.
Because it comes out October 11th, and
Oh,
I
shoot.
just recently watched the Terrifier films. Just recently, I just started. I'm behind on it. I know. Have you seen Terrifier, Dion? I already asked you, and you said
Seen
no.
any of them? Yeah.
Have you seen them?
I have not seen the Terrifier
You have not
series.
seen the Terrifier movies?
We all failed.
Yeah.
I just now
Hey.
watched. I just now watched them.
To be fair, you guys didn't see Cuckoo, so
Yeah, you're right.
That's the worst sin, I will say.
Yeah.
Because Terrifier, the first Terrifier, Terrifier 2 is actually a really good movie, though. Oh, We Live in Time. Andrew Garfield, Florence Pugh, the A24 movie. I'm gonna probably cry my eyes out. We can do a sad episode. Oh, Anora, Sean Baker. Anora's
There's-
coming out.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a Ronald Reagan movie. I don't know if that was this month or whenever, but if you like Ronald Reagan or you have some thoughts that you want to share on his biography movie, do your thing.
I'm too young for Ronald Reagan, I think.
Yeah.
But I think I was born when Bill Clinton was in office, I want to say. So
hmm
I
Oh, wait
passed
a
my.
minute. Oh, shit.
Huh?
You were born when Bill Clinton was in office?
Yeah, I'm old. 1998. I'm 25, about to be 26. So I mean, old man. Anora and We Live in Time is probably going to be because We Live in Time. I feel like nobody's going to watch an episode of me talking about We Live in Time because it's like it's A24, but it's
It's one of those things where like
it's a romance. It's a romance, and people don't come to me for romance. But you know what? I'm a sucker for a romance movie, so screw it.
Mhm.
And then Anora, which the director of the Florida Project is directing. Have you seen the Florida Project? I think it's Neon or A24, so that'll be coming up. So look for Anora and We Live in Time in September. Or October, I mean, sorry. And then Beetlejuice, and The Front Room in September. And then in November, Gladiator. So I should be every month I should be having a movie that we're talking about. So Jacob's going to come back, okay? I know everybody in the comments is just like, when is Jacob? I can't live without another episode of Jacob's Film Perspectives.
Man.
I get you through your day at work. I get you through your terrible family vacations, whatever. You listen to me and my sweet, beautiful voice takes you away to somewhere special. And I really appreciate that you guys think of me that way. And that's not me projecting at all. That's how I have been told.
Oh.
That my podcast get people through the day. I actually have not been told that, but if people would tell me that, I would probably break down and cry. Okay, but yeah, that's my. So look out, September. Next episode will definitely be Beetlejuice, and then next episode will be We Live in. Oh crap! We might have 2 in October then, because Terrifier, and then We Live in Time and Anora will be 1. So I think we'll have 2 in October. So look, October
2 episodes or just...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Bet.
But which one of them might be at the con though, because I'm set up to be at the con to do a live podcast. So it makes sense to do the Terrifier movies, considering the guy's going to be there.
Yeah.
So
you can have. The director is going to be there too, so if you have anything mean to say, you can say it to his face.
Oh man! Imagine he walks because like I'm already set for a panel. So imagine he walks by and he hears me talking about his film, and then That'll be
Yeah.
fun. That'll be fun. I hope he likes what I have to say. I have good things to say about Terrifier 2. The first one, Terrifier 2, I have good things to say. And hopefully Terrifier 3 is a great movie. It looks like it's going to be. But yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to Jacob being back. You get 2 of me in October, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while, so.
I want to give a shout out to, one more shout out to Craven's convention, or Craven Convention, excuse me.
You're all good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate it. Thank you
When
guys
is
so
that?
much for having me on.
When is that dropping again?
October 31st, if nothing goes high wire.
October 31st. And what will it be on?
Spotify.
Spotify?
Yep.
So look out for that on Spotify if you want to know about horror and the female and horror, which everybody should know about, I think.
Yeah, like it's hard to keep tabs on this kind of information too. Is there like a social media that we could follow, like a page or something that keep us?
So I am still waiting on the graphics from the artist to come in. So there isn't a Craven Conventions page yet. There will be in like the next week or so. But my personal Instagram is at _geek_nextdoor, and I post updates about all of that there.
Jacob's film. I'll share when she creates the page. I'll be sharing.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
yeah, I mean, Deontay, do you have anything for SNN you want to plug before we go?
That's all I got. These bars in Nashville are calling my name.
Hey.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Well, okay, I guess with that, peace out. In the episode here.
Great show, guys.